All right. That was my wife just telling me that I was not live. It should be live. Am I live? Okay, what's going on here? Am I live? I will look in the chat. So if I'm live, someone chat me and let me know. I'll wait patiently. Okay, I'm live. I've confirmed it. Okay, no sound. Can you all hear me? So I've been talking to myself for 10 minutes. I don't know if that will be part of the... You might be able to actually watch it, because it was said it was live. Yep, we can hear us. Okay, so very quiet. I'll make sure I talk louder. That could also be people's stream. I did check to make sure the OBS was set up before I was doing this. Yeah, I mean, the mic looks good on my end, but you never know with the internet. So I do apologize. I thought I was live there. Apparently it was not. I did not click the... There's another button now that I have a bigger channel and I can use this other fancy YouTube program. So I apologize. So that means you didn't hear anything I was talking about for the last 10 minutes, which is actually probably good because I was just rambling aimlessly. All right, so welcome. I'm Aaron Collins. If you're new to the channel, I've been testing and evaluating masks for over a year now. I started last August talking about better and high filtration masks. For those not familiar, I will paste it in the discussion, so that makes sense why I pasted a random link and no one got why. If you want a link to today's data, that's in the bottom left corner of the screen that you're seeing. That is available in the description. So head to the link in the description. You can get to watch that live data as it comes in. If you're interested in more about my method and FAQ, about how I do this test and all that stuff, I'm going to drop a link in the chat right now that you will see, and that is a link to the whole Google Drive that has that FAQ. That's probably, you saw me chat that in there before. Yes, in Len, there is the sound of an AC or fan. That's the counter that's below that you can't see that is measuring. It's kind of loud. It's a big box. It's a particle counter. So my method, for those not familiar, is what's called a total inward leakage test. It's a little modified. I use a smaller aerosol. I use a 64 nanometer count medium diameter aerosol to evaluate this. Again, all that's in the FAQ. And so what my test is very basic. I generate a sodium chloride aerosol using a solution of sodium chloride in water. So it's 16% sodium chloride. So it's 8 grams of salt by mass. So it's 8 grams of salt in 50 grams of water. I generate these particles and cause the counts to go up. Then what I do is I measure the particles outside or in the room right now using my condensation particle counter. You can't see it below. It's below. The laptop is sitting on top of it. But you can see the data in the upper left, and that's measuring the concentration in the room. So the concentration in the room right now is about 20,000 particles per cc. And for those not familiar, a cc is a cubic centimeter. It's roughly about the size of a sugar cube. So in one sugar cube, there's 20,000 particles right now. So think how many you breathe in every moment. This is why indoor air quality is so important. So this test, we're going to measure the particles in the room. I'm then going to put on the mask and measure the number of particles inside the mask using the same tool with the same tubing. So if there's any diffusion or particle loss in the system, it's all the same loss mechanism, so it all cancels out. And then we're going to compare that. So for example, you can see right now we got 20,000 particles per cc. I'm going to connect it to the mask. Now I'm not going to put this over my head. I'm just going to hold it against my face. Watch that graph in the upper left. This is an N99 or an N100 mask. We're going to see that concentration plummet. So I'm just going to hold it to my face. Normally I'll install it and wear it normally, but just to make things quicker, you'll see. You're going to watch that concentration plummet. Now the only problem is I'm trying to watch the comments and OBS live at the same time. There we go. The concentration is plummeted. You can see how few particles are currently in the mask. Right now there's 200 particles, 100 particles now. So we went down from 10,000 to 100. And we can go even lower than that. All right, we're down to about 20 particles per cc. Is this recording on 2x speed? No, this is just how fast I talk. Sorry. All right, so we're about 100 particles, and then if I take the mask back off, watch that concentration spike back up. All right, and that concentration goes back up because that's measured from air. So the difference between that, when it goes high to low, that tells us the filtration efficiency. So with this mask, we expect to see around 99 point some change mask. And so my test, what it's doing is it's measuring two things. One, if the mask, it's measuring the filter particles going through the mask. So how, we can call this like a filtration efficiency of the media, the filter media inside of it. And it also measures the number of particles that leak around the mask. So my test is a little different than, like, let's say the NIOSH test standard, where they take the mask, they glue it, and they run particles, so they measure the effectiveness of the mask. I'm running the effectiveness of the mask as worn. I think this test has some advantages and some disadvantages. So the big advantage is that it lets you test the real-world performance of masks. So masks like, let's say, that cloth in-row mask that was advertised as being super good, it had just a tiny little filter right in the front, but the rest of the mask had no filter media. Well, they claimed that mask ran really well, and if you tested the filter media, sure, it had good filtration efficiency, but because it was so small and just in a small area of your mouth, tons of leakage around it, and that mask didn't test very well in a real-world scenario. So this is how I do this test. It also lets us infer performance across masks. So I'll actually do some control masks. I have my N100 mask, so I should expect to see nearly 100%. I have an N95. I typically get about 99 and some change, maybe 93, with a lot of that being probably dominated by face leakage. And then I also have this Air Queen Nano. This is a mask that was just, it's nothing special, it's just a mask that I had early when I started doing this testing. It's a low performing mask, it only gets around 90%. I like to use that to make sure that I get consistent data every time. So if you actually look back in my data set, you'll see that I run these same 3 masks over and over again. So it'll allow me to, since all of my measurements are relative to each other, this allows me to make sure that I'm getting consistent data, right? So that the measurements are repeatable over time for different days, and that allows us to at least assess how repeatable my method is. Larry said this isn't working right. Okay, well, I can't please them all, Larry. And I only do it, so why do I do this live stream? This live stream is all about data transparency. People are curious. This random person on the internet is publishing data. How do I know how good it is? And so the point of this experiment is really to show how I'm doing it. It feeds that Google Drive link, and in the past I did large review videos. Now I have been swamped the last month or so. I have not been able to do any review videos for a while for a couple of reasons. One, I've been helping get masks set up in my local schools, doing the HEPA filters and doing all that work to get them in the school. Christmas time, riding bicycles, doing the cyclocross season, doing all kinds of stuff. So I just have been very busy. So I'll get back into it now that I have a little bit of time, and we'll start testing some masks. Now today's mask, we got a whole slew of masks. If you look in the Google Drive link, I already tested the pressure drop of a bunch of other masks using my existing standard and a new test standard. You'll see some of those masks we're going to test today. But right off the bat, we will do our control measurements and all that stuff, and we're also going to be testing some masks that got sent over from some school districts that were given to some teachers to see if they're legit. Now my test, of course, is not a test standard, right? So this method is a relative test. It allows us to compare it to across other masks, but it does not certify if a mask is an N95 or a KN95 standard. That you have to have done in the test suite, but it does allow us to compare how well these do against an actual certified, N95, like that 30 TSI, the 3M8210. All right, so concentration's good. We are at about 15,000 particles per cc. I grab my, I almost lost that mask into the bathroom. All right. So we'll get started here. Let me jump over to my Google Drive link, and we'll come down. So I'm going to modify the date. I'd already done all the pressure drop measurements for a lot of these masks. We'll reuse that. Or should I do it again? Fine, we'll do it again. What's today? 1/8/2022. We're going to use our N100 control. It is an N100 mask. It's Moldex. Actually, I should put Moldex on there. It's a cup style. It's going to be as worn. You'll see the test condition there. As worn means I just donned the mask myself. I didn't. Sometimes I'll pinch the nose if the nose wire is weak. Sometimes I'll seal if I feel like it's leaking somewhere on the mask. So that's kind of how that works for those wondering. All right, so concentration right now is 1.478 e to the 4. 1.478. The mask is in the way of my fingers. 478 e to the 4. All right, so then what I go ahead and do is I'm going to don the mask. Oh, you know what? I forgot to do one actually. Well, we'll use this as our zero count. Normally I zero count the CPC too, but my job today will be we'll do both with this mask. All right, you should see that concentration dropping. It will have to be quiet, and I'll show you everyone why. When I talk, I move my face so I can generate leaks, and when I talk, I generate particles. I'll show an example of why just talking generates aerosol for everyone in the moment here. So I'm going to be quiet for 30 seconds here. I got called there 1.7. 1.7 particles per cc. Quickly, I'll show you an example here. So if you look at the upper right corner, it's going to be out of scale, but watch the upper right corner of that graph. Actually, let's do this. We'll do this. 1 second. Let me restart it. I don't have a... I should put like a reset button on this. I wrote it in Python quickly and been using it forever. I should probably... Oh, I don't need to do that. Sorry. Alright, so there we are. We're about a few particles per cc. Now watch what happens. So right now we are at 1. I'm talking. There's now 8 particles per cc, so there's 8 more there. And I'll sing. We've been watching Encanto with my son, so I'll just make we don't talk about Bruno. If I sing and I talk really loud, you'll see how many particles I can generate. We're generating about 70 particles per cc right now. And that is about when we had the background measurement, I was at 1.7, so I am generating a lot of aerosol by simply talking. And if I stop talking, there's an example of why, when you talk, you generate aerosol, and how, if you're COVID positive, hanging out with people that talk and sing generates aerosol, and that is how the disease spreads. So there's a classic example that we do emit aerosol. All right. Anyways. I'm not sure if everyone's still getting into that data sheet or not, but hopefully we can. Check this, make sure everything looks pretty good. I can make this a little bit bigger while we wait. So I may not resize this in the future, just FYI. Alright, we're at 20 seconds. 1.434 even to 4. 1.434 even to 4. So, my filtration efficiency calculation is, I need to drag that down, because we haven't used it in a while. Yeah, of course divide by 0, because I don't have any data there. On Google Drive, you should know that. Alright, 99.99% with our N100. So, not surprisingly, that's exactly what I typically see in N100. Alright, so we're going to now use a 3M8210. I've had this mask for over a year. It's well performed. We usually get about 99 and some change. So, we'll go ahead and drop that in there. 1/8/2022 3M 8210 control. This is an N95. It's cup style. Do it as worn. Head strap. It's white too. And we'll let the concentration stabilize here for a few seconds. Looks like we are pretty stable at 1.380 e to the 4. 13,000 particles per cc. Alright, go ahead and don the mask. I do it in a non-standard fashion. Some people do the official NIOSH method, but I just do it this way because it's quicker. It's also the same mask that was in the New York Times article, if you saw that. It's the same very mask. This mask is famous. Alright, see that particle drop down, so we'll just let that stabilize for a little. I'm going to be quiet for 30 seconds as we wait for it to stabilize. Alright, stabilize at 156.8. 156.8. So we got 98.86. Now, let's usually get a little higher than that. Let's just check the fade here. See, this is one advantage that I have that most people don't. See, if you wore this mask, you would not know that this was 0.3% different. I want to make sure it's good for this test because this is going to be an important test today. 78.14. That's about what I expect to see. Now, what does this highlight? Well, one of the problems with any mask is that mask felt pretty similar to me, even though the difference was like maybe 1% difference. So this is a highlight that people talk about, that fitting is extremely important on these masks, and they're absolutely correct. One thing that they're typically wrong about, though, is that they must be fitted to be able to properly wear this mask, and I don't believe that that's just not true. You can get protection even with a poorly fitted version. We'll do some of that. We'll actually do a bunch of tests like that today, kind of showing the range that we get with different tensions and ear loop tension and stuff like that. All right, well, when that concentration just come up and stabilize again, I'm just gonna hit. I just want to check. Notice that one of my flow rates is just a smidgen high. Just want to make sure everything's good there, but I think that's okay. The flow rate, it's supposed to be 0.5 and it's 0.53, so it's triggering the alarm. But it's consistent for the test, so that's fine. Staying stable. All right, we'll let that stabilize here at 1.313. All right, so we end up with 99.42 filtration efficiency when we're wearing that 3M N95. All right, next up is the Air Queen. I always set my control mass over here. Next up is the Air Queen Nano. So I can see around 88, 89% filtration efficiency for this mask. It's been again used for like a year. I use it at the start of every test. I hope I never lose it. I might though someday, but I do. It does sit in a special. Very special thing. So this is the Air Queen Nano Control. It's an unrated mask. That's why it doesn't perform very well. It's a boat shape. I call it the boat shape. It's going to be as worn. It's white. And then use ear loops. We'll let the concentration stabilize here for a second, and then we will go ahead and jump in. Alright, 1.252 either. We're going to have to put the generator back on in a second here. Alright, so we'll go ahead and don the mask. Make sure this mask is properly sealed to my face. I called there about 1286. Alright, I'm going to take off the mask. What I'm watching there when I call it is I'm looking for that 20-second concentration average. It'll slowly drop over time, the 20-second average. I think it's visible maybe in the live stream. You should be able to read that number. And then when it kind of stabilizes within, let's say, plus or minus estimated maybe 5% or something like that, I'll call it and say, okay, we met equilibrium condition. This is basically a steady state. We'll call it there. And then we let the concentration come back up. We'll wait 20 seconds so we do a pre and post. That's because the interim concentration is constantly falling out. This room has I do close the vent so that it is, just a controlled room, but there is leakage through windows and other surfaces in the door. And so what happens is the concentration over the room will fall. So if I do a really long test, it can drop quite a bit. So I always do it before and after to try and accommodate for that, or account for that. All right, so 1.195. So you both pre and post. All right, so 89.49. That's very typical for that mask. We usually get about 89-90%. So another good set of controls. All right, so the first mask. So I'm gonna do a couple masks. I'm gonna do we'll do the mask that were sent to the teachers first. I know that's why most people are here probably watching. I think there was a message about which ones they wanted to test first, but I'll see if I can remember the names. But we'll get them all. Let's see. Chelsea, I think there was one with the name of the C that was on the mask. Over here, Brooklyn, it must be all the schools. Share. Okay, so we'll start with the one I think it was. The sharing. We'll test one from each. I need that too. And I did not punch all of these, so I do need it. I will have to punch the test part of it too. I didn't do that because I was worried I would get them mixed up. I didn't have time to label them, so you'll see me stand up and I'll quickly punch the test part in. Just takes a few seconds here. I'm also test port rich. In the past, I've been very test port poor. I have very few of them, but I just went ahead and bought like the mega load of TSI. This is a commercially available punch that's used for fit testing and mass. Just cinch it together. Now I have a sealed port that allows me to connect the mass. So I get that out of the way. Okay, so this is the from our friends at labeled Sharon. I don't know what that means. So now these particular masks, never heard of them before. Let's see, they are the Fujian Pangoni KN95s. We'll see how they test out here. So 122. I'm gonna write the name. Fujian. And I apologize. I don't need to be insulting to the Chinese language. I just don't know how to. Supposedly is a K95 mask. It's a bifold style. Do as worn, white, ear loops. Go ahead, here's the mask. Go ahead and hook it up. Concentration is okay. We'll probably just drop below 10,000. We'll start the generator up again. And we'll drop it. Okay, so let's start the generator up while we wait. I know everyone's probably like, oh, I'm so excited to see what they are. Alright, I'll just check to see what the comments were saying. I'm not going to say where these are from. They're just, that's the name. The thing, if you do some Googling, you'll probably figure it out, but I don't want anyone to, I think it's just best not to say. Alright, concentration is coming up. I just want to bring it up to about 20,000 particles per cc. And you're going to hear a bunch of noise in the background. The noise you hear are the particle counter itself, so it makes noise. You're going to hear this aerosol generator running. You're going to hear a fan that's blowing the aerosol around the room to make sure it's well mixed. So that's just the kind of way it goes. Again, I just live stream this so that people can be able to see how I did the test, get to see what the data looks like, and to make sure that I'm not doing any funny business, right? Because I think you should be able to, you shouldn't really trust anything you see on the internet, let's just say it that way. So I try to make sure that I prove my value. Lisa Goosebond asks, are you testing outgoing as well as incoming filtration? So only incoming filtration. So this does not test source control, but in general, if you're getting 99% on the way out, you're going to be getting roughly that on the way out. Now, the one thing is when you breathe out, it does push the mask away from your face, so you do get some more additional leakage, but there's still an N95 or a really tight-fitting KN95 KF94 is going to provide excellent protection to others. All right, there we go at 20,000 particles per cc. I'll turn the generator off. You'll hear that quiet back down. We'll let it stabilize for about 20 seconds here, and then we'll don the mask and we'll see how it performs. Now, if we have some issues, so sometimes these masks don't fit my face very well, so I do have the Fix the Mask brace. This is the silicone brace that allows the mask to seal to my face really tightly. That's a good way for me to test, like, how good does it perform at a perfect face fit. And so we'll do that. We'll see a bunch of people are texting me. Someone was texting me 30 minutes ago to say I was not live. So Patrick McHugh asks, what does it mean when you say plus maximum breathing? Just go back to look at the date on that test, and you can go to the live stream and then just look at it. That particular one is the Vnx 9105. I literally am breathing as fast as I can, like full exhale, full inhale, and yeah. It's basically like as hard as you can breathe, and it's still. I mean, wait. It wanted to highlight that breathing rate has some impact on filtration efficiency, so that would be me like basically at a full sprint run. All right, we'll call it there. So 22.386 e to the 4. 2.386 e to the 4. All right, let's go ahead and let's see how it does. Okay, well, one tip anytime you work with bifold masks like this, one tip is to take your finger and flatten that sharp bend. That'll give you a better feel. See, if I flatten the sharp bend out, now when I install the mask, I can form it over my nose. The ear loops are kind of long on this mask, so I'm going to need to use a mask clip, or I'll have to tighten them up. So I'll just do it as worn. I'll do it as worn because if you just are given a mask and you don't know anything about masks, you're going to think, wow, I got 99%, 95% protection. Fit is still important. So here we go. Called it a 1568. We'll repeat this test. 93%. That's not good. Well, I mean, I doubt that these meet the KN95 standard. That's what I'll say there. I doubt that they meet the standard. We'll do. Give me 1 second here. We'll do a fix the mask. I'm gonna let it come up to stabilize. I'm gonna do a fix the mask to get it to make sure it seals to my Sable. Actually, I'll tighten the ear loops. Then I'll do fix the mask, and then I'm gonna just compare it to some other KN95s. So we have the American-made Vnx. I should have Powcoms, both the 26 GB 2006 and GB 2019 variety. Let's see, where are those at? They're in my big bag. Here we go. I see it there. Okay, so we got Powcom 1. We got, I want to find the other KN95. You get the arm rust, KN95. Okay, we're almost at stabilized concentration. What else do I got? I got another Vnx that we got to test because maybe there's some lot differences from another internet tester or an arm rust type of those. I know I got another Powcom in here. Where did I put it? There's another Powcom. Okay. Well, we wait for that to stabilize. All right, we're back up to 2.314 e to the 4. 2.314 e to the 4. So 93.33. Yeah, that's not really that great. So what we're going to do is we'll repeat that test again. I'm going to copy this full line here. I'm going to drop it down here. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to say plus shorten ear loops. I'm going to shorten the ear loops. See if we can get a little bit better. Because face fit's really important. These ear loops felt long on me. How you can shorten ear loops? You just tie a small slip knot in them. You can use mask clips. There's all kinds of techniques. I like just to tie a knot in them. You want the mask, the ear loops to be tight, but not so tight that they're going to flop your ear loop over here. You know. So again, we always want to balance protection with comfort. All right, so I think that's going to be pretty good. Let's go ahead and grab the concentration. 2.201 e to the 4. All right, let's go ahead and don the mask. Yeah, much better on the, there we go. Still getting a nose leak, so we'll still need to do fix the mask. I can feel it leaking because the nose wire's not very strong. called it 876. So what you can see is that it went from 93% to 96%. That delta is driven by face seal leakage. So we're getting there. And we'll do a fix the mask next. So these masks aren't terrible, but these masks are, I mean, they're stamped with, you can't probably read it, but it says KN95 GB 2626 2006. That's the test standard. I have a feeling that they would not pass that test standard based on what I'm seeing here. So, I don't know. Don't buy random KN95s, even if you're a large organization. You gotta vet them. They're notoriously not meeting spec. And then you just give them to random people. You can't, the other problem is don't give just one mask to people. Everyone has different faces. You should give them 5 masks to pick. Pick 5, vet 5, give them a sample pack, see which works best for them. They pick that one and then give them a bunch more of that because you need to have masks that fit your face too. Alright, 2.014 E to 4. Alright, so 95.84. So they're not completely garbage, but I don't think they pass spec. We'll show that with the Vnx and the arm breasts and stuff too. The last test, I'll test all of them that were sent to me too because this is just one, but it doesn't seem like they're like complete garbage. Let's see. I always have to remember how to put this thing on because it's not. There's a mask brace. You can buy these from Fix the Mask. They're really great. I mean, if you really want to make sure, so when you talk about the testing that I'm doing here, that I include both filter leakage as well as face seal leakage, well, it's really important to understand that the mask brace like this can solve the face leakage problem, especially for soft masks, surgical masks, so masks like KN95s, KF94s. Not really, you can't really do it with cup masks or masks that have a really stiff outer brace. It's not going to work that well. I'm going to think about how I do this. Oh yeah, I got to disconnect the tube. How do I guess we'll just measure it like this, like this, like this. I'll check my mirror to the right and make sure that it's correctly installed on my face. And this is gonna seal the mask on my face. What this does is ensures that there is no leaks. Alright, we gotta get the upstream concentration. Sorry, we're gonna let that stabilize for a second, so I'm gonna copy this. See where it says as worn, now it says fix the mask. Now the short ear loops don't really matter anymore, so we'll just say fix the mask. Concentration 1.902 E to the 4. So this is going to be the best case scenario. Jumping around a little bit. Call there at 699. 699. Jumping around a little bit. Okay, we'll pull that off. Bring in the mask. Better. So, no, you're saying, yeah, 96%. That's pretty. It's fine. It's going to be better than a surgical mask. We can show that as a demo. We'll do that next. But I'm going to put that in this bag. So this is the Sharon mask. We'll test the other ones too shortly. So I'll show quickly what I think is a good KN95. I test Palcoms all the time, so we'll just test the Palcom, show how that does the same kind of test. So I don't think these masks meet the KN95 standard. If you can send it to a lab, we'll test it for sure. But I don't think they meet the KN95 standard. So let's grab, since people are always interested in it, and I have it right here. I have 2 of them. I actually have the old one and the new one. So this is the Palcom KN95. Oh, let me get the upstream concentration before I forget. 1.808 E to the 4. 1.808 E to the 4. Alright, so now let's do 1822. This is the Palcom GB 2626 2019 standard. So they updated the standard. Palcom updated it. So it's a KN95 bifold. going to do as worn. It's white. Ear loops, but I have adjusted them, shortened. I'll just say short, just because they're always too long for me. So we'll just show an example of kind of best case scenario. We'll get up here, and I'll show you that without even fixing the mask, this mask will probably do better in that test, and that's because it'll have better filtration media. So we'll let it stabilize here for 20 seconds. I guess we'll check the comments here. Yeah, I've tested Dimtex in the past, but yes, I'll be testing them today as well. Yeah, everything that you saw on that list above will be tested today. There's a huge stack to my left that you can't see. I just want to do these masks first. Alright, we'll call there 1.660 e to the 4. Okay, stabilize at 182. And there's the difference between a real mask and a subpar mask. Notice that this Palcom KN95 got 98.9%, and that is also not with Fix the Mask. We'll test it with Fix the Mask in a second. You can see how good the filter median is. I do make, while everyone's listening, I do notice, one of my complaints with Palcoms in the past is the nose wire felt weak. I've noticed that the nose wire on the newer 2019 version is, or that new 2019 standard, has a stiffer nose wire for sure. One of my complaints about Palcom in the past has been their nose wire was not as stiff, and I noticed that, oh yeah, they were in a different nose wire too, it's wider. So they've updated the nose wire in the Palcoms. Excellent. I just had so many of the 2006 hanging around, I've never bought new ones, because I have like bags of them. They're so inexpensive, I had so many of them, I'd give them out. 1.654 e to the 4. 1.654 Alright, so we end up at 98.9. Okay, so what we're going to do is the same thing. I'm going to install the Palcom and fix the mask on. We'll see how good the filter media is. And this is just going to give you an indication of how good of a faceplate could I have gotten with this one. I did shorten the ear loops. Not incessantly enough that I still feel it's comfortable enough that I can wear. But it highlights that good masks are good. Alright. Just checking myself in the mirror. I'll put the number in when we start. 1.607 e to the 4. We'll get it started while I fill in the rest of the data. Oh, this is ear loops actually. I'm sorry. Alright, jumping around a little bit around 121 here. So we still had some face leakage. there is an example of a mask that really does perform. So 99.25. And you can see that, you know, relative to, let's say, that N99, I did not perform as well with an ear loop mask. And that's because ear loop masks don't seal as well to your face. They do leak more, and you do have to make sure it seals. Now, the power cam happens to fit my face really well. You can see that I got a really good seal. I happen to have a face that fits well for those style of masks. I think for some reason my face just fits a lot of masks well. So that's the Powcom KN95. We'll also just test a surgical mask, because I think there's going to be teachers at the school who are like, oh my god, are these as bad as a surgical mask? And the answer is no. They're much better. Even the fake, well, I never know if I want to say a fake mask is better than a surgical mask, but low-performing KN95 is still better than a surgical mask. But the school should have vetted them, and there are much better options out there. Like Powcoms are great. You could have bought those, you know, probably 50 cents a pop. Grab a drink of water. We'll go ahead and install the surgical mask here just to have a demo, because I know we got probably a lot of teachers that are watching this wondering, hey, are these masks legit? We'll also get through, and then after I test this, I'll go back to just testing all of the various KN95s sent to me from the teachers. We'll just go through and test one from each of the bags, and then just get a value. And I'll just do fix the mask on all of those. We're just really interested, you know, are they real? We'll just do that. So here's a armrest surgical mask. This is from Armrest. He sent me a bunch a while back for testing, so I just punched it. We're good. Let's just check out, like, how well does a surgical mask. Same test aerosol. You're gonna watch it live. So let's do 1 point. Oops, I forgot to get that concentration a little while ago. I'm a little late on that. But let's 1.39 e to the 4. So 99.2. That's pretty good. That's pretty dang good. Oh, I can't reach over. All right, my tube's in the way. Out of the way, tube. All right, let's copy that. Let's paste that. All right, here we go. So this is an armrest surgical mask. I'm just gonna do it as worn. So I'm not sure what rating these are. These ASTM? I'm sure they are. I'm not sure. Shape, flat, square. We're gonna do it as worn. It's blue. It's ear loop. Oops, that didn't autofill for me. Not ear loop. All right. 1.338 e to the 4. All right, let's go ahead. We'll hook up our mask. We'll install my mask into my face, and you're gonna see how well these don't really they don't perform that well. I mean, not because the media is bad, but because they have tons of gaps on them. I'll even do my best to make it as fit me as well, I'll do it all this. Okay, so this is just me wearing it as is. You notice there's a gap here. Like the nose wire is like stiff, but like you can only do so much there. Let me straighten up a little. Look at the mirror. All right, here we go. Notice that concentration jumping around. You look on that graph, how does it compare to the other tests? Not as good. All right, call there 6392. 6392. 52%. Oh, we'll do some other tests. I'll flip the ear loops, then I'll do fix the mask, and you can see that. Face seals. What are we talking about with mask? Fit. It needs to fit your face. Filtration. It needs to have a good, high-quality rated medians in it. You need both of those things. And then I argue that you need comfort. You need one with a low pressure drop, comfortable to your face, and when you have all three of those things, you have good protection. So that's why we need all of those things. I don't know why this isn't. I don't know why it's not well broadcasted. People. I mean, a surgical mask is still better than a cloth mask, but it's not as good, nearly as good as a KN95. And I also hear unfit KN95s or unfit N95s, KN95, any of these respirator style masks. If they're not fit, they don't work at all. I'll show you that they work way better than a surgical mask. In this case, 50%. All right, so let's see, 1.173 e to the 4. 1.173 e to the 4. Okay, we got 49%. Wow. All right, so let's do this. Now, people have always asked me to do this, so we'll just do it quickly. I'll do the tuck method or the let's see, plus flip ear loops. I'm falling off my chair. All right, so we'll do this where you twist the ear loop. It's better, but it ain't great. Oh, you know what? I'm a dingus. I forgot to record the concentration. Sorry. I don't remember what this is. It's a flat square. As worn. Can't see because the mask is in the way. Waiting for it to stabilize. 1.143, 1.149. Alright, now we'll do this, install it, we'll twist the ear loop like this, twist the ear loop like this. What do we get? Not much better, I can tell you that, because I can feel it leaking like a sieve. It's leaking like right here, because I got a giant gap. Well, we'll see, does it do better? No, twisting the ear loops does not automatically do better. Now there's some tuck technique, I can't remember what that is. I don't ever do surgical masks, so we can look at my ignorance. Alright. Well, I'll just do that to show that it doesn't do crapping. I'm not even going to waste my time on this test. Well, I'm not going to waste my time. It creates a gap here. So simply swapping the ear loops doesn't solve your problem. Alright, call it $71.99. Okay, so one thing we do have to talk about in my test. So when we start getting to really low filtration efficiencies, 56, probably 70 and below, there's a phenomenon that happens here that's well characterized by others, but most people are going to interpret this as better. This definitely is leaking more. But one of the problems is that my lungs actually filter the particles. So when I breathe in, we get a measurement of the flow going into the mask and the particles that leak past it. When I breathe out, though, my breathing out will have fewer particles in the air. And so what can happen is, in situations in which you have a lot of leakage, so that you're having a very low particle count, you're going to start to see that phenomena happen. So what happens is that it's probably much worse than 40%, or whatever we're about to be, 1.095. I got to drag this down. So it's like 30%. It's actually probably much worse than this. So this is considerably overestimating it. So surgical masks aren't great if they don't fit your face. So this is why, you got to find a well-fitting mask. You can find surgical masks that fit better. So definitely it's something that can be considered. Or if you do like surgical masks or you want to go that way, buy a fixed mask. We're going to show you why a fixed mask is a great solution if you like surgical masks. I have a whole video on it. I've tested this before if you look at my video. So since we got a lot of people watching, we'll do it again. Talk a little bit about it, and then we're going to jump into the nerd stuff, and we're going to start testing, just flying through the mask testing, because I think I need to be done at some point in time today. So, all right, here we go. I haven't worn one of these in a while. Get the surgical mask. Now, can you make your own N95 by combining these? I think the answer is yes. Oh, I'm a dingus. I've got to take the upstream concentration. .07 e to the 4. Alright, then you gotta charge the generator back up. Let's charge the tester. Alright, here we go. Alright, we stable at 407. 407. Now, of course, this depends on the quality of the surgical mask, but you can see that we could go from, 20% to 40, 30, 40% to 96% by sealing the face issue. So this is why double masking and these concepts, I have a whole video about this. If you're interested more about surgical mask, face fitting, face seal, a whole video, just look for me in the picture with me with the surgical mask with that mask fitter on it. That's from Fix the Mask. You can buy them online, or you can also buy them. I think Armbrush sells them now with surgical masks. You can buy like a Fix the Mask with surgical mask. They have a great face fit. They are a great solution if you have trouble sealing with a mask, if you have a new facial structure, or you want the best face seal. You can combine them with KN95s to get like a really good performance. As you saw, 99%. So it's like as good as an N95 or better. All right, here we go. So we'll call that 1.03 e to the 4. So we got a significant boost there, up to 96%. So fit needs to fit your face. Okay, so enough playing around. Let's just fly through all these masks. I'm just going to go through each spool now. And I'll use each one with Fix the Mask so that we're getting a measurement of how well does the mask perform in there. Now, they all are from the same lot. I did check. They do have some of them people included the lot sticker with it. So almost all of them include the lot ID. And they're all lot 2020 0313. 2020 0313. Wow, like right around the start of the pandemic. These are old masks. What the what? Date of manufacturing. Oh, production date is 5/6. So they're from May of 2020, right during the peak of the pandemic. Right when, yeah. So someone's had these masks sitting around for a while. I guess they gave some a really good deal on these masks because they knew that they weren't that great. Some people say, well, they're not medical masks. They don't need to be rated to that. You can't see me because I'm punching a hole in this one again. They say, hey, they're non-medical rated. I'll tell you what, it doesn't matter if it's medical or non-medical. The standard is GB 26/2006. You need to meet that standard. This medical notion is kind of a non-existing term. There's no such thing as a medical mask. There is a surgical mask. Surgical N95s, they have a very specific set of requirements that needed to happen to use a surgical. They have a fluid barrier test and stuff like that. But yeah, medical, non-medical, the standard is the standard. Industrial N95s have been around longer than surgical N95s, so I always think it's funny that they talk about medical masks. Look, industrial N95s have been doing this the longest time. Let me just grab that brand again. But this is not from Sharon, this is from Newton 1. Concentration come up. I'm just loading up my test mask there. Alright. Let's see if there's any Elizabeth Menke asked, what about those entries on the shared dock on 1322? Those were just for pressure drop, but I will be testing them today. I just had done a pressure drop comparison against Aaron 2.0. I got that up and running, and so I wanted to compare some because this is my older method to the newer method. But in general, it's not really. Aaron 2.0 is good, but like it's a hassle and it's not really much better. So I may go back to my old method. It's faster. All right, we'll let that stabilize for a second, then we'll start the next mask here. I was gonna go ahead and try to punch the next mask, but I really want to not mix these up in case some of these are lower performing than others. I want to make sure that they get sent to if they need to get sent to a lab or something. That there's still extra masks in there. I'll just make sure they don't. So we'll just stabilize here for a little bit. I think we're there at 24.92 or 2.492 even before. Oh, you know what? I'm an idiot. I need to, if I'm doing the fix the mask, I gotta do this, then I gotta do this. I can be prepped ahead. All right, $5.89. So stabilize. This will go back into the mix bag, but not in the actual pack, so I know which one. Well, they'll know which one I tested because it's got a test port. So after this, we'll test a bunch of American-made masks. Got a whole bunch on the queued up here. Vnx, Armbrust, PHG, Demtech, all kinds of great American masks. KN95, American-made KN95, because we don't have a standard yet. We don't have an American standard yet. Let me just check, show this lot. This lot is also, yeah, 0506, 2020, lot number 2020, 2020-0313. All of these have the same lot, so maybe they were all built that same day. I don't know anything about the manufacturing process, so who knows? Maybe that is correct. It seems like maybe they just printed out one lot card and tossed them in all the masks, because they do seem a little different. But like I said, they definitely are not KN95. They don't probably meet the test standard. They should be performing much higher than this. The KN95, this is a common misnomer about these masks. Crap, I forgot to do the upstream, sorry. 2.424. It's a little probably underestimated. Okay, so this is Newton 2. Alright, let me don the mask. So one thing we always you hear people say, oh, N95s are less than 5%. They filter 95% of particles. And while that is true, there's a bunch of caveats to that. One of the requirements is that it must filter 95% of the particles after it's been exposed to 200 milligrams of aerosol, which is an absolute crazy, insane amount. I mean, it makes sense for industrial environments. If you were like doing sheetrock all day, that would make sense. But outside of industrial environments, that's an insane amount. So it needs to filter 95% after it's been exposed to a ton of dust. So they typically always filter around 99% because when you load them up, they start to lose some filtration efficiency. Oh, god dang it. Forgot to record the upstream concentration again. I'm talking too much. Give it 20 seconds now. Someone said, I believe Aaron's favorite mask is the Tia button. It is a mask I like. If you follow my live streams, you'll know that I don't wear that. If you notice my picture, I'm not wearing it either. It's a good mask. The ear loop adjusters kind of suck. When I made that video a year ago, it was a good mask. There's much better masks now. What do I wear now? Cleanwell KF94, Sable Ultra, or if I'm going to somewhere that I need more protection, I rock a 3M 9105 Deflex. Alright, here we go. 2.336 E to the 4.
see Virginia Gay Gandy said that she's a teach music at a small college and my choirs haven't met the entire pandemic. If you can get some V3M V-Flex 9105, perfect mask for singing, full jaw motion, super low pressure drop. They're hard to get right now. If you can find some, get them for your students. You can reuse them for 40 plus hours, so you can use them for one mask a whole week. You can get your choir back. You also need HEPA filters and good indoor filtration as well, but I think you know, if we do all of these things, we can overcome coronavirus. Alright, I gotta be quiet so I can just test this mask as it should be. Alright, 369. This mask back into the Newton 2 package. I'll put the next one and just fly through these as fast as we can. We're going to be testing a lot of masks. Somebody has asked, are we going to test the Indiana face mask? Yes, we'll be testing a crap load. I just got to get through all of these masks quickly for the teacher crew. And then we'll, I just want to make sure there's a different lot or something in here. Alright, let's do this one next. Same lot. 2020-0506, 2020-0313. So it's the same lot. Again, this is Revere. The only thing that sucks about working in the smallest room in my house is that I'm working in the smallest room in my house, so it's it's always fun to try to work on this tiny workbench here. AKA my sink, that most of the sink is the sink itself, not on top. Okay, so we punch the mask, we put the test board in it. Flatten the nose wire out. Always do that in bifolds. Flatten it out. Put it on. Yeah, they have that odor for them. Not terrible, but it's just like, it's definitely knows. Alright, let this settle out for 1 second. So here we go. This one, copy it. This one is Revere. Concentration 1.913 4 e to the 4. Come on, there you go. Alright, call 352. Ah, I forgot an upstream concentration check on that previous one. Dang it. You guys are watching me live, so I'm just going to use the previous one as an estimate. It's not perfect, but I forgot to do that. I looked away for 2 seconds. That's why you live stream, so that when you do something like that, everyone's aware of what you're doing. I'm not trying to hide anything. You have nothing to hide. I don't make any money on this. I don't spend money on this. I don't want people to pay me for this because I want the pandemic over as fast as I can.
mass. I don't mind testing mass if it was a public service. I had the equipment, I had the knowledge. I was interested in some mass myself, so it worked out. I'm not like super into mass. Like I do this as a public service because I want people to wear better masks. I want people to be safe. If you look at my video, you'll see what I'm really into. All right. And I like what I do for a job too. All right, get that concentration. So we're ready for that. We'll punch it. We'll record that concentration. So Lexington, let's see, lot number, so manufactured date 05/06 2020, lot number 2020-0313. Okay, so all of these are the same lot, but we'll just keep flying through it. That way, every person every location that these came from will feel some level of comfort. I would still recommend them buy better masks, but these will do until you can get some better ones. If I was the purchaser of these masks, I would be having a conversation with my supplier, and I'd say, hey, show me the data that these masks make it. In fact, I would probably not pay the bill because I'd send them to a laboratory and have these tested to see if they even meet the KN95 standard. That way I don't get on the hook for a couple $1 million because they said that these masks conform to a standard, but they don't. And then you use the law in your favor and you don't have to pay the bill. That's what I would do. And of course you have to get back all the old stock, but hey, you know. We need to even sue them for misrepresentation probably. I'm not a lawyer, so don't quote me on that, but I would imagine that there's some tort law in place to do this kind of stuff. Alright, let's go ahead and cross this mask on. Alright, upstream concentration this time here. Do it right this time. 1.579 e to the 4. 1.579 e to the 4. Oh, I got this a little under my chin here. Just a second. Question, do masks have expiration dates? Technically, yes, but in general, they can last a very long time. The ear loops and the elastic fail first. All right, call there 425. Oh, we got a few more to go. We're going through them fast. Alright, next one up. 30 seconds. Okay, this time it's, let's see, this one is Brookline. Not Brooklyn, but Brookline. I'm sure someone will figure out where they're from based on these names, but. Alright, 1.524 e to the 4. I'm just going to copy that again because we are going to go right into the next mask. Oh, actually, no, we're not, because I'm going to punch a hole in it and open it up and do all that side of it. Alright. I don't know what this says. There's something else written on here. Alright, lot number. Date of manufacturing 2020-0506. Lot number 2020-0313. I guess it's possible. Like, I don't know how many they distributed. That's they're all talking the same lines. Seems weird to me. I love that the red stamp is like printed on the thing too. It looks like it's supposed to look like someone had actually stamped it. There's no way that they did. It's printed on the card. It must be a cultural thing in China. I expect to
back in the day when I was doing this, I would put like an electronics grade RTD on it so that I can make sure that the port could last like multiple tests. I stopped doing that because I originally did that because masks were so rare. I might not get another one of those masks ever again because they were so hard to get in source. So I wanted to make sure I could reuse it in my tests later. So I don't do that really. I'm not going to do that today because I'm trying to get this done and I have a lot of masks to test. And we're already almost an hour and a half into this thing and I want to get done. So we're going to go fast. Before I do that, 1.38 e to the 4. I called it at 3:49. Who's next? Chelsea. You're up next, Chelsea. Lot number not included in the package. Looks like it fell out. So no lot number on this one. And I know you guys are bored. We'll get to the good stuff in a second here. We just got to fly through these quickly. I think there's people out there that really want good face masks for their profession and probably want to feel some level of comfort that they at least have some level. I definitely think that if I had to choose between a surgical mask and these, I would pick these. But I would make sure that they fit my face. If they don't fit your face, you know, I know this is terrible and teachers shouldn't have to, but just buy yourself some good PPE. Don't mess around. Just buy something good. Not expensive. Go to Project N95 or go to Bonafide Mask. Get them for really cheap. Get N95's from Home Depot. All right. Chelsea is the name. Okay. Concentration. 1.277 e to the 4. Then I'm going to have to turn my generator back on here. Oh, actually, let's put the mask on there. I'm getting pretty good at it now. Oh, I called there 520. One of the worst ones there. Yeah, I mean, these definitely do not pass. These are not pass. Where did Chelsea go? Did it fall? No, where did I put it? Oh, it sat on it. I was sitting on it. Sorry, Chelsea. Let's see. Someone asked if these say non-medical on it, and they say, yes, KN95 protective mask, non-medical. How are we doing on concentration? Let's take a look. Are we still doing good? We're almost out. So let's call it there 1.150. Go ahead and flip the generator on. Bring that back up. Well, I go to the next one, which is, oh god, now they're going to figure out where they're from for sure. I cannot. Lot ID on this one is included in the package. 2020-05-06 manufacturing date, lot number 2020-0313. So again, the same lot. So everything's coming out of the same lot. Gotta watch that concentration, make sure I don't overcharge the room, because then I have to wait for it to bleed down. And time is of the essence. Because today's a nice day in Minnesota. It's 30 degrees. I want to go outside and go sledding, go ice skating. Really have some fun with my son. Punch the mask. And you always check to make sure the punch is good. I check to make sure the thing is tight. There's no twisting or anything like that. Stabilize for 20 seconds here. Jill Crittenden asked, did you check the ones from Sharon? The answer is yes, I did check the ones from Sharon. Ones from Sharon with Fix the Mask. Fix the Mask on the Sharon was 96.23. I do see a big range in values. I mean, I without a doubt do not think these would pass the KN95 standard. They are not. I mean, they may say KN95, but this is the problem with KN95. You might have one that does 30%, one that does 60, 70, 80, 90, 90 plus. But that's the problem. If I go get a 3M, I know every time that it's going to be 99% because, 85 liters per minute, 200 milligrams of loading, that's when it's at 95. So in my test, they're like 99%. So it highlights these are pretty low performing. Alright, looks like we have stabilized 2.562 e to the 4. Teacher Association asks, these are not Fix the Mask, are they? Aren't they as worn? These are not as, in my data set, I call this as worn would be just me putting it on my face out of the box. And then if I modify it or put a Fix the Mask on, so I'm just testing the quality of the material right now. Are the masks real? If you look at my Sharon data, you can see how it kind of performed without a Fix the Mask. That they're KN95s, so they're not amazing. They're not. Anyone who says an N95 and a KN95 are the same, or a KF94, they're not. KF94, KN95 ear loop. More leakage. N95 headband, less leakage. All of these are way better than surgical masks. That's my problem. Is that you can say N95 is better, yes, and then you can say an N100 is better, yes, or a P100 is better, yes. And what's better than that? Elastomeric. And what's better than that? Oh man, these things are hard to breathe in. Ooh. These things are really hard to breathe in. Like running out of breath there. All right, I'll stop talking about this mask test and move on. Alright, 548 for this one. Not very good. Yeah, 97%. This sounds good. Alright. Move on to the next one. Alright, that was Boston. So I used the fix the mask brace to seal the mask. So we're trying to do as close as a media level test. If we include my face leakage, we're going to see values that are more variable because every time I put the mask on, maybe I don't get it perfect. So what would happen is that you'd see more variation in my data, which is not representative of variation of the material from the mask, but actually representation of the material variation of the method that I'm testing the mask. So I don't want to include that, so we're going to use the fix the mask for all these. These are going to give best case scenario. But again, this highlights that if you go back to my very first test with the Sharon mask, that represents what you can expect if you can get a well-fitting. It's going to leak, so make sure the ear loops are tight. If the mask doesn't fit you, you may need a different one. I have a big problem with organizations, like you might have said, or I already said, like I have a big problem with organizations sending out masks one for all. Like, oh, here's a KN95. If it doesn't fit your face, it's not going to give you much protection. Like, it's not how we should do it. I mean, the reason that industrial places require a fit test is for this exact reason, to make sure the mask fits your face. Do you need to do that in the general population? I think that you will not derive as much protection as a fit mask, for sure. But you can still derive way, way good. Like, you can get into the 90s easily just by making sure it feels like it fits your face. If you look at one of my previous videos, I talk about how to do a fit check, and I'll do it here quickly, probably on this last one as a quick example. Okay, so this one, production date 05/06/2020, and again, lot or batch number 2020-0313. So definitely all the same cloth. All right, here we go. So I'll punch this one, and we'll get going again here. I will do another test showing. Well, I don't know what we want to show. Basically, make sure the mask fits you. That's the most important thing. So it is not a one size fits all. Think of it like shoes. What shoe you like may fit your feet great. You may love that shoe, but that shoe does not mean that it fits everyone's feet the same way, even if they're all size 10, right? And that's the way to think about masks. They're like shoes. So you need to find one that fits your foot, or in this case, your face, to get maximum protection. 2.088 e to the 4. This will be the last one. This is from Cambridge. Yeah, someone's going to definitely figure out where these are from. I should have used a descriptor, but oh well. Oops, sorry, I gotta do this first. Alright, then after this I'll move on to American-made KN95. This is a ridiculous thing that we have to even say that word, because we don't have a general population mask standard that supports ear loops. Everything in the US has to be Vnx N95. That's the lowest we have. It's a big problem. Oh man, these things are really... Look, I don't mean to talk smack, but just go buy... If you like this style of mask, if you're a person that's using these masks in the area I'm testing from, you like this mask, go buy some Palcons. It's so much easier to breathe in. These things suck. They're so hard to... They have really bad pressure. They have shitty medium. The filter medium is bad. Relative to modern masks. Just silliness. People deserve the best masks. Sorry. Alright, I'll stay on topic. I won't divulge into too much of my complaints. We can do better, though. Alright, 161. I can tell that this mask has way more media in it. Oh my goodness, it's hard to breathe in. I can tell that the weight on this one, so how thick the filter media is much higher on this mask. I can feel it. Cool. That is hard to breathe in. That one that I received here from Cambridge, there's no lock control on this at all. I mean, that thing is like really hard to breathe in. This is the Cambridge one. And maybe I will do some filter bit, the pressure. I should, you know what I will, the person that sent these to me, I see that you're in the live stream. I will do the pressure drop measurements for these two. These are really hard to read them, and I'll put them relative to a pow com. For those that know what these are coming from, if you have a parent organization and you're watching this, and there's a parent organization, here's what you should do. Help your teachers out. Go buy them some Vnx's, some armrests. We'll test them today. Some pow coms. They're Chinese, but you want to support it. It's cheap. Give them to your teacher. Say thank you for doing this. Give them something good. This is ridiculous. Like, it just drives me nuts that we're just doing this now. Wear a good mask. Also, please. All right, we'll have to stabilize here. We're almost there. Sorry, it's just frustrating to me. I've been working on this so long, and we know so much about it, yet we're still being stupid. Okay, so that is all those masks done. Let us move on to some more interesting masks. So I did the Palcoms already. So this I did the 2019 version. I did test the pressure drop on the 2016 version. I did not see any difference. So if those are watching, that the newer version is better, without a doubt. The 2019 version, better. It's not as fluffy as the old one, so they must have changed the media a little bit. Nose wire is noticeably stiffer and heavier gauge, which is really nice. I do shorten the ear loops a little bit on these because I find them a little long. So again, face fit is very important. So you can see the results that I got in there. All right, let's jump into some other KN95s that I have here today. Let's go to the armrest. So this is the armrest KN95. Armrest is out of Texas. They put a little foam insert on the nose. Nose wire is, I give it good conformability, but in terms of hold power, it's a little weak. I'm always a believer that when you add the foam in, you have to have a stiff nose wire. I will knock them a little bit on the ear loops. They're not very stiff. They're not very strong. I was kind of bummed by that. I think the ear loop is not great. I think they can do a lot better. Just all you have to do is go to Sable, buy their ear loops, whoever they're buying. I think they buy them from a Japanese company. Those Sable ear loops are amazing. So this is the armrest KN95. Let's see if there's a lot number. I'll put that on there as well. No lot number on it, but it has a KN95. Now, why is an American-made company making a KN95 if that's the Chinese standard? Well, because there is no American standard that they can apply it to. They could apply the F3502 standard with the highest filtration level is 50%. Wow, that's amazing. There's nothing out there for them. So these manufacturers are left to having no standards. So they're actually, to compete with KN95s, they're just going to say that their mask is the same as the KN95. I don't blame them for doing that. It's a good marketing technique, but it's stupid that they have to do that. And there's no regulation, really in the US. So, all right, here we go. We'll do upstream concentration. We'll let the mask stabilize here for a second, and then we'll jump into there. All right, 1.398, 1.398. We'll do it as worn. 80 to the 4. Okay. Yeah, these ear loops are just not stiff. It's a big mask, though. You can see how far it tucks under my chin. It's a very large mask. So if you have a large face, leaking right here. I'll need to shorten these up. They're not stiff. They just have no tension on them. So I can feel this mask very strongly leaking right here. When I breathe in, I can feel it. So I'll show you an example about how good can I do, even though I have a known leak. I called it 2194. So I got 85% with a very known leak on this mask. I'm going to shorten the ear loops up. That'll solve probably most of it. This is a big mask. Filter median, it's good, I can tell you that. Pressure drop isn't amazing. I did test these already. And I did test them using fixed. I think I used them, let's see. I think I did all fix the mask, so whatever's matched on the text label here. Oh, I guess I didn't label. I need to go in there and label those. Those are all with fix the mask on, so I can get a good seal. So that's the pressure drop data. All right, well, we'll let that stabilize for 20 seconds. We'll grab it out of there. We're almost there. I need a few more seconds. Come on. We're almost there. There we go. 1.368 e to the 4. Alright, so now, let's shorten the ear loops up, because they're too long. Highlights, and this is a common issue. If you can buy a mask that has adjustable ear loops, or install cord blocks, that will guarantee you a much better fit, because you can actually adjust the ear loop tension. Plus, I'll say plus, shorten ear loops. And Lloyd, if you're watching, you should use a better ear loop. Alright, here we go. So all you do again is tie it in a slip knot. I mean, I will say that the loops are soft. They're not hard. They don't have like this kind of hard, like some ear loops are kind of braided and they're kind of abrasive to the ear. These ear loops are super soft, but there's not enough tension that you can get on them. Alright, so I shortened them up quite a bit. This one slid even with my slip knot. Let me try it again. Tighten that slip knot up. Alright, so now we shorten the ear loops up so I can get a better seal. It's still leaking right here. I can't get it to seal in my nose that well. It's probably too big of a mask, to be honest. It's too big. I still feel it leaking here. $14.28 is what I was seeing. I kind of bombed out there too. Alright, so 89, so I'm up to 90. That's typical. I can still feel a leak though, but it would be hard. So I generally think if you can get a leak tight seal, you will get into the 90s pretty easily. If you can make sure that you don't feel any leaks. Beyond that, it's going to get harder and harder. 95, getting tough. 99, you got to have a tool. You got to be able to measure it. You just need a fit tester at that point to get into those high 90s. But again, surgical mask 50 to 70. Going from 50% to 90%, it's not just a 40% difference. It's a 90% difference. Or not 90%, it's a 5x difference, sorry. 50% to 90% is a 5x improvement. It's a lot. It's important to remember that. Alright, so what we're going to do here is we're going to do fix the mask. Let's see how the media is, because that's the question. How is this media? .274. Alright, let's do this. So 89% there. Let's see how he does on the media level. But yeah, this nose foam is good, but I'm gonna try something. We'll try. What am I doing? I gotta put the mask on first and then do that. Okay, so next I'll even try a little mask modification. I'm not a fan of nose foam unless you have a stiff nose wire on the mask. The nose wire on this mask is not, I think, stiff enough. It has good compliance. It's easy to form, but it does not have enough stiffness. That's why I like the aluminum. Aluminum is way better. Oh, that's good that I didn't actually connect it because I need to get the concentration here. You think I would have done this before or something? All right, here we go. 1.21 e to the 4. Go ahead and stick this on there. Media is good. about 257. Yeah, good medium on that. I'm gonna do one other thing because I think it's leaking here on the nose foam. I'm gonna pull the nose foam off of this thing. I'm gonna remove the nose foam and see if I do better without it. I honestly think I bet you. We'll see what I think I'm gonna do better without it because I feel like it's leaking at the nose foam. Like it's not sealing to my nose because it's like pushing up on my cheek right there. Now that's a very face specific thing, right? So in these kind of scenarios, that's because however my cheeks are, that the foam doesn't help me. This is why it's very important that you get a mask that fits your face. 1.15 e to the 4. 1.15 e to the 4. Alright, I gotta get moving here. We got a lot of mass ahead of us here. So let's just see. I like Lloyd what he's doing, so let's just see if we can improve this a little bit more. So I'm gonna set up a wall, I'll type it in while we're waiting. Yeah, that actually is better for me. Alright, call it there at like 660. It's jumping around a little bit. It's leaking. There you go, 94.26. I have a better seal without the nose foam. This is not the first time I've seen this happen where they add nose foam. If you add nose foam, so well before masks, I tested that before, the well before brand, they did the same thing. They added nose foam without making the nose wire stiffer, and it makes it leak because the foam actually pushes out against your face, and I can feel it leaking at the edges of the foam. So, of course, that depends on everyone's nose is different, but I can definitely feel it leaking past there. What does it feel like when you leak? It's going to feel like these cool air blowing in and out. Like when you breathe out, your air is like warm and it gets moist in the mask. Like not moist, but like humid inside. You can feel it on your skin. And it's really dry in Minnesota right now, so I can feel it. So my skin gets humid on the breathe out, and on the breathe in, I can feel it cool, like right here, or sometimes right at the seam. Those are all signs that the mask is leaking. So I'll do a quick demo on the next one if you remind me. I'll check the chat here in a second because we're going to charge the room back up. We're low. We're below 10K, so we're going to come back up. So 94.01 that you get. So armrest, good. I mean, I think that they probably meet the KN95 standard. I'd like to see a little higher filtration. Are they better than Palcoms? I don't know. What did I get on the Palcom with just as is? I think the Palcom fits my face better. 98.9, so 97.82. I mean, I think we're in the same ballpark. Surprisingly on the order of those Fujians. All right, let's do Vnx next. These are a pretty nice mask. I have two lots here. One of these lots is a lot that was problematic when Armbrust tested it. So this is the Vnx N95 lot E215021. Again, another US made KN95. I'm not sure where they're out of. Texas maybe? I'm not sure where Vnx is out of. And then we got another, the Shawmlet. Got some cut masks from Demtech. We'll save those for later. I got this one, which I still got to figure out how to do. This is the Ready mask. We'll finish the KN95s, and then we'll jump into kids masks. We'll do cut masks. And then we'll do N95s. Looking to see if I should have another KN95 in there. Oh, I got the KN95 mask, 99 mask here, the Canadian mask. Super nice. I like that mask. Alright, we're going to flip the machine off. We got lots of N95s in here. I'm looking for a Harley N95. Right? So we got some KN95s up next. I got the Harley, got the Vnx. That's a headband N95. What else do I got in here? That's the N95. We'll do a bunch of N95s. We're going to do the Sable Kuro. People ask if the coloring masks are the same as the other ones in the end, so we'll just test it. I had some, so let's find out. All right, let the concentration stabilize for a second. I have some more KF94s. We'll test quickly too. We're just gonna fly through them here. And remember, this is just for me to do this. Newton Teachers Association. Aaron mentioned the early mask was ideal for choruses. Could you give the name of that mask again? That is the 3M9105 with V-Flex. Really hard to find right now. Really difficult to find. Uh-oh, someone is knocking at the door. That means they need something. My live stream. Hey. Yeah. Oh, thank you. Are you watching that? Oh, was he? I'm live streaming right now, so I gotta get back. Thanks, too. He wanted to show me Hippie, who was hiding in the secret room, aka our attic. Apparently, he found him up there. We're putting away the Christmas decoration. Okay. Here we go. 2.636. Let's do this thing. So we're just going to do it as worn. So with the ear loops as it comes, I flatten the nose wire. So right away I noticed like this nose wire is stiffer but not amazing. Again, lack of foam helps them. If you added foam to this nose wire, it would not be better. Breathability is better than the arm rust, and for surely better than the ones that I was testing at before. It's a damn good mask. Alright, jump around a little bit. 486 seems like where we're settling out there. So that's really great. I mean, this is the I think the lot that tested bad, but I'm not seeing that. We'll test the next lot. So I noticed that this mask, so relative, let's see, how do these compare? So definitely arm rust is bigger than Palcom. So if you're a Palcom person and you're looking for if you have a bigger face, Palcoms are too small for you. Arm rust with the Vnx are a great option. I'm going to tell you that Vnx is on par with breathability of the Palcom. Maybe you actually have the data. Let's just take a look while we wait for this to stabilize. Let's see, Palcom. What did you get? We'll do time to breath measurement. I think that's a little bit better. So Palcom, I got about 4.89. Let's see the Vnx. Yeah, it's easier to breathe in than the Palcom, so that fits what I'm feeling on my face. Yeah, easier to breathe in than the Palcom. So wow, I think if you want, sorry, Lauren. I'm gonna have to be gentle on you, but I'm sorry. The Vnx makes a better mask. It's a good mask. Really good breathability. Gotta give him. That's a damn good mask. Oops, 2.404 e to the 4. Let's see if I can do a little bit better. Let's shorten the ear loops because I think what's gonna happen is someone's gonna look at. See, the other thing when you look at my document, remember, my tester is on my face, so sometimes people are like, oh, this mask only got whatever. And I'm like, no, that's really good. Like, I didn't have to do anything to get that to fit my face that well. It has good ear loops. Like, I'll just stop the test. But we'll do it. I'll shorten up the ear loops a little bit, show what happens as we increase face seal. Let's see if we can get a little bit of an improvement there. But I think that's really good. And again, it highlights, you gotta make sure the mask fits your mask. All these people look at my data and are like, well, this mask didn't test as good as the other mask. It just usually is because it didn't seal my face. When I do find a fake mask, you find them be underperforming. You know, they'll get 80s or something like that. But if they're a legit mask with good media in them, they do really well. So I shortened up the ear loops quite a bit. That's probably going to be too much because they're good ear loops on these too. You know. Ooh, it's a little too tight in my ear there. All right. Okay. Whoops. Gotta get the upstream. Focus there. Focus. My wife's gonna be like, "Why are you taking so long?" Because I'm only like through half the mask. Oh well.
Oh, there's a lot of chat here. I hope no one's asking me too many questions because I'm not going to be able to answer all of these. Yeah, 3 only. You know, I think I do have an armbrust small. I should try that. I'll do that. We'll do that next. These are all pre-punched because I did them from the air, but I'll test the armbrust small because the armbrust was a little big for my face. Let's see if we can do a little better on it. Jennifer said, I ordered a Vnx. I got them shipped straight from Vnx. They have their own website. I would just go there. I'm sure they have an online, you know, whatever thing on Amazon. So I don't know. Just make sure you go start there. Oops. If you know, if they direct you, if you go to Vnx and they direct you to Amazon, then get them there. But if not, just order them straight. I don't think there's going to be too many fakes, but you never know.
All right, so highlights of this mask. You know, the nose foam to me, I would like the nose wire to be stronger on this mask. So what I don't like about this Vnx is, I think that this nose wire could be stiffer. They should use a better nose wire. Conformability good, but stiffness bad. If we go back to my earlier video, I did the lighter test where I bent it around a lighter and showed the difference. I can tell this one is like, it's okay. This mask fits my face well, so that helps it. These are KN95s. So this is a US made company, so Vnx KN95, US made, but to the Chinese standard, so that they can advertise it as a KN95. I don't blame them. It's a stupid process that we have, a problem that we have because there's no mass standard for them to use. I'm going to be quiet here for a second, and we'll see what we get. I called it 206, so I think I do get an improvement. I would say that this is not comfortable to wear all day like that. That's too tight. So let's do a fun little comparison while we wait. Not while we wait. So the same mask in black, but headbands. So let's just do a comparison. How much better are headbands? Let's do that right now. For those wondering, someone had asked, have I tested the Bespoke Air antiviral mask? I have. I tested it and reviewed it in a previous video. It sucks because it smells like vinegar. The antiviral stuff is some liquid that they play it on that smells just like vinegar. It's terrible. Don't recommend it. And the build construction was pretty poor. What do I think in general of all antiviral masks? It's a gimmick. You don't need antiviral. First thing of a mask, it needs to filter. If it doesn't filter, who cares if it kills 99% of the virus that lands on the mask if it doesn't filter 99% of the virus to keep that out of your lungs? Now this is the Vnx N95 Black Headband. Because it's a NIOSH N95, which is nice. It's a bifold style. We're going to do as worn black headbands. So I feel like the nose wire on this one is stiffer as well, but we'll see when I have it actually on my face. Again, no nose foam on this mask, which I think is a better, I mean, again, like you got to balance. If you're going to use nose foam, you got to use a stiff nose wire. We have another Vnx from a different lot. We'll see if it behaves any better. We also have the Harley. Now, they do use a nose foam, but they use a really stiff nose wire. So the Harley is a Chinese KN95. That's weird for me to say, but it always kind of makes me feel weird that I say a Chinese versus American KN95. I mean, I guess that makes sense because they do the same thing. 1.878 e to the 4th. They do the same thing for N95s. There's Chinese made N95s. Maybe I should do fixed. I should have done fixed the mask too. Okay, so right away the head tension on these is low. Not very tight. Let's see how we do. Nose wire feels the same, but it feels like it's a longer nose wire though. But maybe it's just feel. It's just not very stiff. Alright, we reached steady state 153. So, are headbands better? Yes. But can you still get a pretty damn good seal with ear loops? Yes. And this is one of the, I feel like the nose wire is stiffer, but maybe, nah, it's about the same. I think it's the same exact mask. So we tested their N95. It's good. The breathability is good on it. Nose wire is good and stiff. More so than other masks. I feel like it's stiffer than this case. I think the nose wire is different on that one. It feels stiffer. Yeah, headbands added. I mean, if so 98% as I wore it. Now again, another caveat of my test: single face position. I'm not talking. I'm not moving. The headbands will keep it tighter in all of those motions too. So headbands are better. Definitely are better. But I can show you like ear loops aren't as bad as people claim them to be. Yeah, you're not going to get a fit factor of 100 with ear loops. In fact, roughly what I'm seeing is that I'd probably get a fit factor of maybe like 20 or 30 or something like that. But that's still way better than a surgical mask. Just my complaint. We need something surgical, KN95, KF94, KN95, and then you have N95 as the next level. And then after that it's N100, P100, then elastomeric options, then PAPRs, then PAPRs in a clean room, and then PAPRs in a clean room with a bunny suit. There you go. There's the projection of how much protection you want. It's all been done before. None of this is new. Go to any clean room in any facility. This is all of this has been done a million times. It's funny. Everyone thinks it's new, but this is impossible. All right, let's do the other Vnx, and then I'll do the fix the mask on it too, just see what's up. E95. So I think the lot that we'll see. I can't remember what lot was what. I wrote it down somewhere when I got them, so I made sure they didn't mix them up, but. I don't remember which lot was the lot that Lloyd had tested that was supposedly a bad lot. I think it's this one, E21392. 213912. We're just going to do it just like this and just see how these stack, apples to apples. Okay, yes, this is the supposed bad lot. So Lloyd had tested some masks on his channel, and they didn't come in as good as what we expected, and so I had asked him, hey, I'm going to be testing your mask, send me a couple with that, and I'll see if I see him as well. So this is one of those things like, are they consistent in quality? I guess we'll find out. My one complaint with them, though, is like, I hate the big, when they heat seam the whole thing, these big heat seamed letters. It makes them transparent windows, which is fine, they don't leak, but they can crack. I don't like when they make them so big like that, when they put a big logo on it. Keep it small. They're doing the printing on there. Like, don't make your logo big and printed. I saw that with Lutima, and I'm worried that you can get cracks or pinholes in there, which creates leaks. So I prefer not to see that big logoing done that way. So, all right, let's do this thing as worn. Supposed bad lot. Let's see if we can see a difference. All right, 287. That seems to be stabilized there. Oh, they're good. Yeah, I don't see any difference there. There's no difference. We got 9816 versus 9807. No resolvable difference. Not in my test. We'll let it stabilize. So, media is good. I think the Vnx's might be my favorite KN95 now. Like, I used to like the Aruns a lot. They were really good too. But I mean, just so everyone knows, everyone's sold out of everything. Everyone's like, oh, this mask is out. Everything is out of everything. If there's a mask out there, there's such a run on masks. You're not gonna find anything. Home Depot N95, that's at least a spot to get them at right now. But because you can look ahead of time. But like anything you can order online is sold out. Kids masks sold out. Everything's sold out. KF94 is sold out.
You start to see some return in stock, but it's just everything is short right now. You're not going to be able to. You're not going to be able. Yeah, it is what it is. All right, 9812. So I don't see a difference there. All right, now next up is the Harley. Now the Harley is a Chinese-made KN95 because that's the standard. Their nose wire is stiff, but they do use a foam on it. So let's see, does the foam help? Now this is also a big mask. Breathability was good. If you look at my data before, let's go take a look while we wait for this to stabilize. Let's look. How did that Harley L2D2 no 188 I think is the Harley out L188. No, that's the N95. What's their KN95 called? Oh, L103V. Oh, that makes sense. 4.71 versus Vnx at so it's in the order of the Vnx. So I think Vnx still probably is better. But let's check them out. Now I know these are in stock because if you go to Bonafide, they have masks. So if you're looking for KN95s, Bonafide mask definitely has a lot of stock. All right, 1.377 e to the 4. Oh, I forgot to take my notes, but we'll start it while I wait. 1.377 e to the 4. All right, let's try this one on.
Ear loop tension's good for me. Nose foam, I don't know. Again, I'm not. The nose foam's nice, but why the nose wire is stiff enough on this that it's okay. It's overcoming the pushback on the foam, but
let's see how it does.
I'll fill it in while we wait. I got a leak there somewhere. I get about 924. I got a leak right here, I think. I'm going to take the nose foam off and we'll try it next. I do not need to shorten the ear loops on that. They are really tugging on the ear. So they got a short ear loop, but they are thick and wide. Look how wide that is. That's like a 5 mil ear loop. Maybe even a 7 mil ear loop. That is a armbrust. Buy that ear loop. That is nice. Too tight. I think that's a little tight on my ears. That's kind of a challenge. This is why adjustability is really important on ear loops. You need adjustment. Headbands, I don't think you need as much adjustment on, but ear loops, you need to be able to adjust them. And I think there's a good article out there that someone did some fit testing on KF94s, and they found the exact same thing. The adjustable ones did way better than the non-adjustable because you need that to control the tension on the ear. I would love for someone to do a study on if someone thinks the mask fits them and they can do those things like shorten the ear loops and make sure it fits their face, what can people get on average? Because I think, the tests where you just give, I fit one KF94 on 30 people. Okay, well that's one size of one type, and from all variety of face sizes, of course you're going to get a wide range of fit because no one has the same no one has the same face size. 0.254 e to the 4, or 2.37, we'll say. Running down on aerosol here, so 92.93. I don't think that's a problem with the filter media, but I'm going to remove the nose. Let's do fix the mask first. I can't tighten the ear loops up on this thing. I can feel it leaking by the nose, like right here. But let's just make sure that it's not the media. I mean, I do love always when I can find fake KN94s. This is not a fake. This came from Bonafide, so I'm sure it's legit. The question is like, you never know though. You never know. Like, unless you're testing the mask yourself, like you have your own lab to test, you never really know. You can't look at a mask and see if it is a good mask or not. That's kind of the whole crux of the problem. If you could look and tell a fake, this problem wouldn't be an issue. The problem is you need a specialty counter like I have that I happened to have in my basement before the pandemic started to do this. This is a big mask. Big chunks of this. Yeah, I definitely had a leak there. I can feel it sealed up now. Oh, I forgot to get the concentration. 1.2360 to 4. Definitely was leaking on me there. Still leaking, actually. I can feel that foam. Alright, I called it at 3:13. I forgot to put fix the mask. I still think it's leaking past the nose foam. So let's pop this off quickly because I got a lot of mask to finish and it's already 12:30. I'm gonna peel the nose foam off. I don't, no, sorry, nose foam, unless you have a stiff nose wire, I don't think it helps. Actually is not like, it does not have like an adhesive back. They like straight up glued it to the mask. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get this off easily or not. Well, let's see. I'll peel off enough as I can. Good for them for like adhering it well. It's not just a stick on nose foam. Oh man, that's like really adhered to the mask. Well, good for them. So I took off most of it. It's really stuck on there really well. Good job. Let's see if I feel like that's better already. Yeah, that's better. Now it is sticking to my face now because the adhesive's still on the mask. So I do get it enhanced. That's better. Let's try it. Alright, let's grab our concentration. 1.164 U4. Alright, let's jump in and do this again here. And I think the answer is the same as always. Alright, stabilize about 107. So, there you go. Ow! It stuck to my face. I mean, that had an enhancement that was probably glued a little bit to my face. But stop sticking nose foam on weak nose wires. You can't do that. So, nose foam on weak nose wire. If you got a heavy gauge nose wire, yeah, you can get away with it, but not on a weak nose wire. So, get out of here with that weak sauce. Alright, what do we got next? Let's do KN95s, and let's do kids masks and then KN95s. I got a fun one today, too. I used Sable that I had for 40 hours. I was curious at how it performed because I haven't tested it. Sable's yet before. Oh, I forgot to test the Vnx Black. Okay, well, we'll come back to that later. I don't need that. Got the Sable Hero Large, which is too big for my face, so it probably is not a great test, but I got also this beautiful, I love this aquamarine blue from Sable. Really beautiful color. Super cool. Iridescent blue. Super cool. Let's do a KN95. Okay, got some queued up here. I need to flip the generator back on because we're coming down below 1,000. So I will check to see if there's any comments that oh, let's get the concentration. 1.068 E to 4. Yeah, so there you go. Good media on the Harley, but nose foam doesn't work for my face. Now, that's my face, my opinion. If you have a different face, you might have a different problem. All right, let's do kids mask because Nanner wants a quick break time. Now, again, Armbrust went with the nose foam on this. I don't know. You know, for kids, it's probably okay because they're. It feels like their nose wire. Nah, it's not. It's the same nose wire. But for a nose wire for a kid, that feels stiff and long. I also have the United States mask KN95. Or kids mask, kids 95 too. So we'll compare them. They look to be now. Armbrust went with taper hook, like the KF94 style. I am not a fan of the taper hook mask. You'll hear me talk about that a lot. I like KN, the taper. I think the taper, it fits my face better, it fits my face better, but I think in general, people that these style bifolds fit better, the taper is better. The taper, as opposed to taper hook. Because then the hook, when you get the taper, it sits under your chin. When you have the hook, you just like, you get this point right here where it won't seal. And like me, I have a little dimple in my chin, and so that leaks right in the dimple in my chin. So I'm not a fan of the hook for my face. That's what I've found. Alright, we're almost up to 20,000. Okay, we can flip it off again. We'll let it stabilize for a second. Whoa. Wow, there's so many people still on here, and I've been going for 2 hours. All right, well, we'll keep going. Let that stabilize. Let's do the kids 95. Now, here's why I like this mask. So good on the United States mask for being different. They made a headband kids. So they made basically an N95 for a kid. Now, they can't say that because N95s aren't allowed to be regulated for kids, but good job on them for making a unique option in the marketplace. Let's see how they stack up. I'm not going to do pressure protect. Well, I'll probably do it later, but let's see. United States mask kids 95. I really wish that they would not use words that are like N95 KF, you know, like get away from regulated standards. Don't call your mask something unless it is that. If it's a KN95, call it a KN95, but don't call it like an N95 like Lutina has done in the past. It's confusing to the customer base. Kids 95, I don't know, it's getting a little too close for my comfort. Concentration seems like it has stabilized. 2.53 E to the 4. Or, yeah, 2.53 E to the 4. Alright, let's see if this thing fits. Let's go. Oh my goodness, it's so tight. Oh, it's so tight on my face. Oh, it's really tight. Ooh, it's a tiny little mask. Good nose wire, though. Oh, I gotta pinch the nose wire because it's leaking. My nose is too tall. Alright, 120.3. That is a tiny mask. Ow! It's so tight on my face. It actually, that hurts. Wow, great, nice. I mean, that's amazing. 99.5 on my face. I can wear a kid's mask. It's because it's really tight. I had to pinch that nose wire because my nose, it was just so tight. It was pulling the mask because the headbands were so wide, it opened the nose wire up. But good quality media in there. Highlights again. Kids masks can be made. They're great. That's a headband. I really like that. If you're looking for an equivalent to an N95, which would be headband high filtration, that is a great mask. So, someone had said, hey, I'm late to the party and I missed the kids mask. I have a whole kids spreadsheet, a whole kids video. Go check that out. This will get added to that when I'm done with the test today, so I'll add this in there and I'll link to that later. But if you're looking for a good one, that's awesome. Good for them. 1.9664 e to the 4. 1.9664 e to the 4. So it came out at 99.46. Hey, you should give that to the teachers. No, just kidding. All right. Armbrust. KN95. Now, we'll see if it fits my face. And we'll see it. It's ear loop, so it's not gonna, it's not gonna be as good as the United States mask. Oh, actually, I lied. I gotta put head strap in this bad boy. There we go. I call it head strap. Why don't I call it headband? Somewhere up there, I did it early. Armbrust. KN95 Kid. Now, poor Lloyd. I'm sure he's like, God dang it, Aaron, you're criticizing my products. I can't take action right now. I'm so busy shipping product and being a dad. Sorry, Lloyd. Sorry, Lloyd. I didn't know. All right. Concentration 2.041 either 4. Alright, let's try this out. Now, it's got nose foam, so I'm probably going to have to pinch it. I'm getting a little leak there. I'm going to have to tighten. I got to shorten these ear loops. I would say that the ear loop material is the same as other masks. It's just not that. No, that's way too short. It's just not. It doesn't have a lot of tension behind it. You can't get some tension behind it. Eventually, you can by tying it up short, but then what happens is the loop thins out when it gets pulled tight, and so I'm not a big fan of that. All right, I'm gonna have to hold my nose to this one because the nose wire is popping loose. The nose wire is shorter than the length of my nose, so it's not their fault. Oh, they're 432. Good mask. So 97.88. That's pretty much what we would expect. There's probably a little bit of leakage happening again right here on my chin because I just, it doesn't fit my face. And it's a kid's mask, but good mask. So if you're looking for kids masks, that's another option out there. All right, we'll do black Vnx. Then we'll do Sable's. Got some KF94s. Cup N95s. More KF94s. More N95s. Oh, I got. Oh yeah. We got. Oh my god. I got something. I got to call my wife's gonna be so mad at me. Should have probably just text her and tell her to go ahead without me. I didn't think this was gonna take that long. All right, let's just rock through. All right. Upstream concentration. What do we finish at? 1.9680 before. 1.9680. All right, let's just go fast here. We're running out of time. All right, Vnx Black. The seat I'm sitting on is getting uncomfortable. No lot info on this one, I can't tell you that. If there's lot info, you can't read it. N89, we'll call it there. Now everyone's gonna know. Is it lower? 95.18? That's just because it's leaking on my face. But we'll test it with Fix the Mask. Someone's gonna ask, and then I have to answer that question. And I gotta do that. So we'll just answer the question now. We'll stabilize, we'll do Fix the Mask. I don't think they died. Some brands I saw them dyeing the whole mask, which means they were dyeing the melt blown, which is like, not probably a good idea. I saw that once in some cheap mask. 1.731 EU4. Alright, we're just gonna fly through this. Isn't the mask, isn't my face seal, isn't the material. It's hard when you get into those high numbers to tell if it's leaking. Alright, 168 is what the lowest is going to go. 168. There you go. Good material. Just, I had a little bit of a leak on my face, and it's hard to tell above 95. It is really hard. It's just, the leaks get really small. I should probably do a demo of that. Someone remind me in the comments before I finish the live stream today. Let's do the used one. I've been really curious at how the used Sable was doing. The one thing I noticed on the Sable was that, and all masks happen, the ear loops just get stretched out, so that's kind of a bummer. Why do I like Sable masks, you might ask yourself? And the answer is very simple. 1.618. The answer is really easy on these Sablers. They're so breathable, and they're bug style. Sable, Ultra, 3D, Medium. It's used 40 hours. It's technically now an FFP2, because they have CE rating. So I'll put that in there. This one is not labeled that way because I think they just ship them to the US without the labeling, but they do have a CE approval now. They're a legit company. Good for them. So we'll see how it goes. I love this Sables. I hope it's good after 40 hours. I haven't tested them actually. Alright, 1.572 to the 4. I do notice that I'll probably have to shorten the ear loops because they have stretched out. Very loose. Yeah, they've lost like all of their flexibility. My only complaint about that on the Sables is it feels like the ear loops lose their they're super soft and comfy. Like I love the style, but they just don't hold their tension as well. Or do they hold the filtration? Alright, 454. We'll try with this, the mask too. I feel like the mask is a little like, it doesn't feel as good when they're new. It's like really soft. 97.11 though, that's really good. So, question is, has the media changed at all? We'll test against these other Sables. I'll do fix the mask next once the concentration stabilizes. I can't believe there's this many people that are watching right now. You guys are nerds. Marine Palmquist asks, what's pressure drop? It's a measurement of breathability. In my measurement, you want lower is better. 1.144 e to the 4. Alright, so 96.99. Alright, let's try this with the fix the mask. I'm curious if the mask has kind of lost some tint. Like, it's just not as stiff as it was when it was new. So I'm curious, is it filter media reduction or is it has lost some form. Like 466 is kind of jumping around a little bit there. Let's call it 466. So no, I think there has been a reduction in filtration efficiency. 466, which, you know, that's expected. 40 hours on my face. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention this one I sneezed in. Oh, I sneezed in that mask, so I'm fine wearing that. 97% is really good. All right, let's try the Sable. I can't remember if it's Kuro or what exactly the name is here. We'll test it new. These are the colored masks, beautiful masks. The difference between this and the Ultra is that they don't have the super wide ear loops, which I like. The color, the ear loops on that other mask are like bananas good. Let's see, Kuro. Where's my Kuro? There it is. All right, I gotta get going on this. Let's just copy this. Oh, I have a mistake here because that is not as white. Blue. As warm. 1.171 either. Alright, let's on this baby. We're just gonna do it as worn. The ear loops are a little weak on this again, but let's just see how I can do. Nose wire is not the strongest. That's my only complaint about Sable. Ultra breathable, but man, if they just put a little stiffer nose wire in there. Oh, the mask is curled a lot there. I feel it leaking on the bottom of the mask. These ear loops just aren't as that tight. I'm just going to shorten them right now. There's no way. I mean, Sure, I can show what happens when you have loose ear loops, but we kind of done that. Like, these ear loops are too loose for me. So you need some moderate tension on them. They're different than the Sable, the Ultras. The ear loop has tension on that's better already from the get-go because it has a wider ear loop. There we go. I call it about 325. It's jumping around a lot there. 325. So 97.22. Let's just do a fix the mask test real quick. And we'll get the upstream. I'm curious what the fix the mask will look like. Because I do feel like it's maybe leaking a little bit. But I'm curious how the filter media on this works. Oh, I forgot to do that. Just so people are aware, I'm trying to copy and paste that on there. I forgot to do the downstream after that. We'll leave it off of there. I don't know what the rules, so let's do it that way. Alright, 1.128 before. Alright, let's do fix the mask. The upstream. Alright, we'll do that. I'm trying to go too fast. Up 366. So actually I got better seal without fix the mask, which is funny. Probably just variations in measurement. But solid mask, man. The breathability on those is mind-blowing. And that cool color. This is a cool color. I think the filter media is slightly less good than other masks. That's how they get that breathability. So it's kind of one of those things like, are you willing to trade off a little bit of protection? Now, this is a tough test aerosol, because when you think about actually half micron aerosol used for that would be respiratory droplets. Not that big of a deal. We're going to do one. Oh! KN99 or Vitacore KN99. There we go. This is a FFP3 rated mask actually. Good on them. This is a boat style. I'll do it as worn. It's white. It's headband. Yeah, I gotta kick the aerosol on here. Sorry, we're just too low. Oh man, my bag's sore. All right. Let's see, any questions I can answer. Seth Herringer, do you still like the LG Air Washer? Yeah, great mask. It's a good mask. A great nose wire, good breathability, great test data. I think I just like the Sable's because they're so breathable. It's so hard, even if it's, let's say, 97, 98% in this test, or half micron, that's going to be like 98, 99%. I'm good with that. For that breathability, I'll take that any day of the week. If I want more protection, I'll wear an N95. Nanner asks, thoughts on the adjustable elastic straps you hook to earlobes? Yeah, those are great too. You can do that too. That'll really pull it tight back to the head. If you want to stay with... See, I like earlobes because I like to pop them off. I'm sipping a cup of coffee, I can put it back on. I do that all the time at work. Like, unhook it, drink some coffee, hook it back up. You know, like, I can be quick with it. So I like that. But yeah, you can also get to the hook straps in the back, and that'll help with the face fit. What is FFP3? That's the European face mask test standard. You still like the V-Flex? Love them. Hard to get though, and I'm worried. I've heard rumors that they're discontinued. I don't think that's true. I think that they're just halted production so they can build other masks because there's a shortage again. So yeah. If one of the legit sites still sends you to Amazon, how do you know you're getting the fake? If you're getting it straight from their store. So if the vendor on the Amazon is like either Amazon or their vendor name, you're like that company, you're probably fine. This is why I hate Amazon, but yeah. Cheryl Johnson says, how do you figure out the Sable suit? You have to be a super mass nerd. It's not easy to order from. That's why I don't publicly talk a lot about them. They're hard to get. They're really hard to get. So you go to Miko Place. There's other vendors that sell them. So they're a little bit of a pain. They got to ship from Hong Kong. You're going to wait 3 weeks to get them. So they're not readily available, but they are a great mask. I have not tried the Evolve Together mask. There's a lot of masks I just haven't tested. There's more masks I haven't tested than I have tested, and it's just impossible to stay up on top of it all. Yeah, Miko Place is a good place to get Hong Kong masks. And noodles, too, apparently, and all kinds of delicious Hong Kong things. Alright, 2.5190 the 4. 2.5190 the 5. What did I say? Let's do 2.61 now. Alright, here we go. This mask is very 3M rubinescent, but no nose foam. It's got a nose wire that's a piece of aluminum, so good on them for that. My wife is annoyed at me that I'm gone an hour past when I was supposed to. I can hear her over there walking. She's gonna go. That's the angry walk. Ooh. That is a damn good mask. All right, I called there 1.407. One particle. Holy crap. That is incredible. That is a good mask. Wow. That is an incredible mask. They meet the spec, that's for sure. Whew. Good job, Vitacore. That's a good mask. I like it. If you're in Canada, get that mask. I'm jealous. I'm a little jealous. I'm not a little jealous, actually. I'm a lot of jealous. Luckily for me, I have a whole box in the basement. Damn, that's a good mask. I like it. It's great. I'll have to hand some of those up. So, if you're in Canada, you have some great mask options right now. Canada mask, Vitacore. Check out the American or the Canadian Association of PPE Manufacturers, CAPAM, I think is what it is. They have all the different PPE manufacturers up there that are Canadian made. Those are good masks. My neighbors to the north making good stuff. 2.43 e to the 4. What do we end up at? 99.9. That is awesome. Wow. That's incredible. All right, let's do a KF94 bifold just for fun. We're just working through the list here quick. Gina? I hear her over there, but I'm trying to go fast. So this is the AER Advanced. There we go. Bingo. KF94 rated. It's bifold. Not my favorite type. As worn. Black. Ear loop. We're kicking off. 2.82. Alright, let's do this thing. The reason I want to test this is a really nice mask. This is like way more breathable than the other ones. So if you like the bifold style, this might be a good option. It doesn't fit though. We need tighter ear loops. Good ear loop on it though. Good tension, good ear loop material. It's supposed to be more breathable. Which does feel like it. I mean, it's KF90, or I mean like bifold style breathability. Just the boats always breathe better in my opinion. Alright, there you go. But I always have trouble fitting these masks, so let's see how it goes. Alright, stabilize about 422 there. You know, this one actually fits me. It's a good mask. This is a really nice one. It's really soft on the inside and outside. Good mask. Need to pull the ear loops tighter. Not as favorite as the boat. Breathability is not as good as the boat, but much better. They're making progress. It says it is 30% more breathable than the previous mask, and I believe it. I believe it. It's definitely, they're making improvements. Alright, what's up next? That's done. How about some of these style? Now these are, let me just take 1 second, because I think my wife's on. Let me text her. I'm past my time slot. It's 1:30. We're going to go do stuff today, so let me just text her. Because I wanted to go play with my son this afternoon, so I'm just going to text her back real quick. She guess she can watch them. She must not be watching the live stream. All right, so these are these duck bill style, kind of like the V-Flex, but you know, not. Oh, I forgot concentration. 2.412. Is that really right? No, it's probably like 2.48. We'll just leave it blank. I forgot to grab it. 2.48. Just check my sticks over here. right, let's keep going. We'll go as fast as we can get through the rest of these masks. Gearson 3230. That's what we're going to do next. Not as breathable. The V-Flex is still more breathable. Gearson 3230. This is a Nyash N95. That's a duckbill. Has worn. White. Strap. Let it stabilize here for a second. Come on. You know what, let's restart this because it's like you can't even see it anymore. It's not shift 11, shift F10 to get it started now. Ta-da! Alright, let's rock this thing. What do we got? We're gonna give 20 seconds here. How many people are still hanging around? Oh my gosh, 196 people are still hanging around. You guys are just hanging out with me all evening, watching me test mass. You guys are crazy. Crazier than me. Alright. 1.796 to the 4. Oh, that's lunch. The door's locked. My niece is trying to get in. Mask. I love these duckbills, they just seal so well. Media is maybe not the best though. .35. I gotta go answer the door. Someone's there. My wife's not answering for something. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. My niece brought us lunch. Oh, and I opened the door though. That room. Okay, well that's fine. We're not going to get a post test on that. I opened the door, so that doesn't. So I released the chamber. I think the media on that was just. I mean, it's probably good. I don't know, man. It's just like. I'll have to look at arm wrestles data on that. I don't know, man. The Gearson's not that great. Relative to mass. I'm sure it meets the spec. It's an Nyash N95. People are going to wonder why I'm missing some of these after tests, but I apologize. Next up is the Prestige Mirror. Prestige Mirror, there you go. Alright, well, the concentration stabilized. So you see I opened the door, concentration plummets. That's why I have to use a small room. I was testing the Gearson 8230. Or 3230, whatever it is. Gearson 3230. Nyash N95. Alright, 1.4090 to the 4. Oh, the headbands. Oh my goodness. Oh. Okay, the head straps on the Gerson are much better. The Gerson or Gerson, or however, I'm not sure exactly how you pronounce it. Alright. My niece was telling me I need a microphone. She's my social media manager. Not really. She's probably lunch though. Seems like this is a better mask. Wait, I'm gonna check it. One thing I always worry about is that the test port on this thin mask, you know, maybe the test port's off on this. I don't have, let's see if I have another one of these. I got another one. I wonder if I always worry when I touch the test port if I screw up. Oh, I got the AC. I got it too. Well, we'll see if we come back to that. I'll just put. Alright, 125. That's kind of what I would expect there. I wonder if I messed up the test port on that one. So this one's tight. That one I might have not tightened enough and it's not loose. That's why I like to glue the test ports. It really is much more robust way to do it. Alright, I got one more duckbill that I forgot to do. The ACI surgical. Thanks for sending these, by the way, Lloyd. You can get all these armrest. You can carrying all these now. Tons of great options. 1.3340 to the 4. 1.3340 to the 4. Okay. Yeah, 99. Yeah. Good. Might be a problem with that test port of the gear. So maybe can I just punch it back in the tighter? Let me see. I do worry, you know, it's easy for me to make a mistake, so I always want to make sure that the mask is bad because it is bad, not because I did something. We'll turn test off. In the meantime, punching the test port with this mask. Make sure it's good and tight. Good. So I think this is the same as the Kimberly Clark. It has a very similar design. So I don't know if Kimberly Clark or whoever does this. So this is the ACI surgical duct. Is it N95? Yes, it is an N95, should be. Yep, it's an N95. It is blue. Steady concentration, we do at 1 point. Oh, we're running out of concentration here. We're going to fire the generator. We'll do this last one, fire the generator, we'll keep going. 1.058 4. Alright. Very similar, very similar to the weird, like, oh yeah, these straps are not going to last. Straps, I give a B minus, not very, oh, did I just do it? No. Kind of one and done with these. Great nose wire. Beautiful nose wire. Cool. Breathability is not great. A lot of clap. You know, a lot of claps on that. Oh, they're at 77. Seems to be hovering around there. Looking damn good. Another good one. N95s are good. Who would have known? Everybody. All right, let's just do another Garrison here since I got it here. So just a shout out to Lloyd again. He does sell this whole sampler pack. No, he actually sent me one as a. I don't think he. So I appreciate that. It's interesting, Lloyd. He sent me a sample pack. So you get one of every N95, one KN95, and he has everything that he has on his website. You get one of everything, including surgical masks. I think you get 10 surgical masks. You can buy the sampler pack. Nice box, one of everything. I think it's exactly what we should be sending every American. The one of everything pack. Find out what you like and then go buy a whole bunch more of that. That's what we need to do. Because mask fit is a very personal thing. Okay, go. Do another person. I do want to know. I think it's a good mask. I want to, and I'm sure other people have tested it. So 9780. Okay, we gotta turn the generator back on. Come on. All right. So 99.24. So are N95s better than, or are N95s better than KN95s? I think the answer is yeah. Headbands get a tighter seal. You can see that I'm consistently going to get on the, as we go through these N95s. You're just going to see that they get a better and better. You're just going to get more protection. The answer though is the trade-off is that there's some comfort reduction in terms of like being able to get the mask on and off quickly and stuff like that. I think we need a whole ecosystem of masks that anyone can buy that are anywhere from between a surgical mask and an N95, right? You need something between there. And they should be trusted. So Gerson 3230 N95 Sable 2. All right. Just chatting. Someone had said that I should split these into 2 days, and I don't disagree with you. But the time that I take to get everything set up, I just do it all in one go because I'm not part of me. These live streams are really just about transparency for the data. I do want to make a long format video, and I need to test all of them to make my long format recommendation. I will have an N95, an updated recommendation video for adults. I just needed to collect all the data. So that's my job. Next, tomorrow, is to not do a live stream, is to create a video for everyone so that they know. Because remember, this is just like a data set. This is just my open notebook. People are allowed to look at my notebook and see what I'm doing. But I like to make long format videos with sourcing links, so I need to get back to doing that. Then I'm done. I'm not doing this anymore. Because I don't think. I mean, I've tested everything. There's not as much out there that's left. 186 people still. You guys are crazy. You guys are absolutely sick. You guys are crazy. Alright. Almost stabilized. We are stabilized. 2.358 uniform. I'm gonna call it a 1486. It's not state. I mean, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if I can. If it's leaking, I guess I could try to fix the mask. No, I don't know what's going on there. I don't know if my test port's bad. It might be that the test port in the spot is bad, but I don't think so. I don't know if it just doesn't fit my space. I think what's happening is that it's leaking at the straps because they're on the inside. So I don't know. They're making bad masks. They're NIOSH. I'm guessing I don't get a good seal on it. Breathability is good, but I definitely don't get a good seal. I bet you it leaks on. See, the straps on this are on the inside, so when you wear it, the strap like cuts. It's like right here, so you're gonna get a leak. I'm not sure why they did that. That's two that I didn't get. I got 99, 96, 46, 93, 7. So. Man. I know they're not fake, but that's one of the limitations of my method is that. But I wonder if they're just like right on the limit of like to get the breathability. I'm sure they're just right on the 2.3660 into the 4. All right, let's move on. I don't know what's up with the gear sense. Maybe I'll have to revisit that at another time. Same lot, so I don't know. I don't know what I feel about it. Alright. More N95s. Any interface max. Let's do that one. God, I feel like there's just so many freaking masks. See what happens when you don't test for 3 months. Freaking marathon session. Any interface mask. .612. Alright, let's do this thing. Headband's moderate tension. Not that breathable. Nose wire is super weak. Very weak nose wire. Yeah, and not long enough, like weak. It's okay. Yeah, it's okay. Good media, I'll tell you that. Pressure drop's a little high though. Yeah, the pressure drop is a little high. I called it at 405. Get a nose wire is not great on that mask. Like, needs a stiffer nose wire. 98.45, that's fine. I probably would not pass a fit test in that one, that's for sure. I'll pinch the nose wire and I bet you it'll go up. If anyone trying to get the data that I'm showing, link is in the description of this live stream. Remember, this live stream is just for data transparency. It is excessively long. I agree. I want to be done. I'm trying to go fast because I want to be done with this. And I want to get back to my regular life. Other things to do today. 2.14 to the 4. Let's try it again. This time we are going to pinch the nose wire. The ear loops are not super tight on this, or the headbands are not super tight either. There you go, 84.4. So 99.61. So nose wire is just, it's way too weak on that mask. Not a great mask. All right, next up is the Harley L188. Let that set for 2 seconds. And we'll grab that data. All right, 2.301. 6'2". So good one. The next, we'll do a couple more here, and that's so well. Let me get this one ready. This is the PHG. I haven't tested this one. Protective Healthcare. Nose foam with good stiff nose wire. Wait for that to settle out. Yeah. The Shaman is the one I'm really excited for. It's like basically an 8210 plus equivalent mask. Very similar breathability, very similar fit, but like cheaper and more readily available right now. So I'm interested in this out too. All right, I might have to call it and we'll to finish the rest tonight when I get back. I'm getting run out of time. All right, 2.006 either. Good fit. I like the fit. The nose wire is money. Oh, that's a good nose wire. Any leaks? Oh, they're at 348. That's pretty good. I think the media is a little lacking on that, though. I don't think. I mean, maybe it's a face shit issue, face seal issue. Maybe get a leakage a little bit past that nose foam. All right, come on, let's go. What's next? Do this guy next. This guy next. I might have to save the rest for another time. I'm running out of time. It's almost 2 o'clock. I gotta be done. Sorry. Maybe I'll leave it set up and I'll do it Sunday. I can just leave the lab set up for the day. I want to test this. This will be, we'll do it in the lab. And then I got a bunch of KN95s I'll test. It'll have to be tomorrow. Just a couple. Nothing good. Nothing that makes, like, I don't know. KN95s are KN95s. There's a lot of them out there. 1.66 either. It's hard to say if that's a face seal issue. I think it's the nose foam. I just think that nose foam, it's a good nose wire, but not an amazing nose wire. I think nose foam really doesn't help. I should. Oh, also cat blocks in. Uh-oh, did I lose my live stream? We're so good. This is a smaller mass. This is a smaller mass, that's for sure. Right there. Yeah. Leaking on the nose bone. it 1068. And it's leaking at the nose phone. Just gonna peel it off. Well, good for them for. Well, maybe I'm not gonna peel this one off. Well bonded nose phone. Can't knock them on that. They did a dig. The bonded was really good. I have a bet this will do better for me. The nose foam is never an improvement for me. 1.714 to the 4. I always see people use nose foam, and it's like, if you use it, you gotta, at least in my experience, this is me, my face. It's different nose wire if you want to use the foam. I called it at like 348. Yeah, so there you go. Not better, not amazing. It's too small for me. But nose wire is way too weak for that foam. You gotta put a much stiffer nose wire in there. It's too weak. You gotta use an aluminum clip. So not impressed with that. Alright, next up, where's that shaman? There we are. This is the mask I've been waiting for. So quickly, I mean it's the end of the live stream. We're gonna wrap it up here real fast. We're gonna get that last 1.598 to the 4. Yeah, so 97. That's pretty good. The shaman is like exact. It's very much like the 8210. I mean, the strapping material is very similar. It's really, I think it's a really good looking mask, a good quality mask. Like very similar to the 3M Cup series. I'm impressed. So I'm excited to see how it stacks up. And the head strap material is like very nice, very very good material. $78.95. This is a really nice mask. This is really a mask giving 3M a run for their money. Nice work. I'm impressed. This is like, if you like the 8210 Plus, I'm gonna guess this is more of a plus size, like similar to the Plus. Their strapping material is awesome. This is not like just shitty rubber bands. This is like, damn. You gave 3M a run for the money. Good on you. Good nose wire too. I'm impressed. I don't say that often, I'll tell you that. They did a good mask. Alright, let this stabilize here. 1.428. Alright, last mask of the day. This ready mask. Now I've never used one of these and I got 3, so what I'm gonna do is first kind of simulate on my face how this is gonna go. Wait, can you peel this thing? Okay, so that's gonna be good. Smell of this mask reminds me of my father-in-law's house. It's weird. How the heck did they ever probe this thing? I guess you gotta do it right under your nose. Right there. Alright, that's how we're gonna try it. Okay, this will be a little fun experiment. So this is a ready mask. It's an adhesive-based mask. Strapless is what they're selling here. Test probe. Alright, let's do this fast. Hold the hand on my son. Last one. Fun mask for the day. Here we go. I have no idea how to do this. I've never done it before. But there's no better time than today. Alright. Gotta be a little gentle. Okay. Got it. It's adhesive. It's very sticky. Showing instructions here. Let me check the instructions. Okay, yep, down the sides. Oh, did I go too low? I see. Oh! Too low. Alright. I'm ready masked. That's cool. I like it. Definitely no load on the ears. That's nice. Breathability is okay. Oh, let's get the pressure up. 1.2694. Alright, 230 is where we're at. Yeah, so that's pretty good. 98.09. I mean, I think that limitation is just the material. I like the design though. It's kind of goofy looking though. Like I got this weird flap here. Maybe I could have gotten lighter on the next? I don't know. Looks like I did it right. Alright, well, I hope everyone enjoyed today. Yeah, looks like I did it right. Maybe I could have gotten a little flatter across the top, but it's nice. Pressure drop's okay. I'll measure it. I'm gonna have to peel it off my face. This will be the fun part. Let's go to the last in the concentration rate, 1.183. E to the 4. Alright, there we go. We're gonna call it there. I gotta get in it today. I'll pick it back up tomorrow sometime. I don't know when. So just keep an eye out. Thanks everyone for hanging around. I'll tell you what, 10 minutes for any questions for anyone that's on. Let's do 20 minutes while I peel this off my face. Oh! Yeah, I mean, it's stuck on there, I'll give you that. Still, it's stucky, so I can definitely use it again. But that's cool. I like it. What do I do? Oh, maybe I can put this frame back on. Yeah, I can put the frame back on here. How's the breathability of the Shaman? If you look at my data set, you can see it earlier. I tested it. It's just a smidge. It's not as good as the 8210 3M, but it's pretty damn close. It's just a smidgen off. I'm really impressed by the Shaman. That's like they made a legit competitor to the 3M. That's what I'll say. They're a legit competitor to the 3M. Yeah, so the face measurement stuff that died last summer because we stopped talking about face masks, and the person I was working with had other things to do, and I was like, I don't think the value's there anymore because we're not talking about face masks anymore. So that died. I didn't do it. Description Project N95 says you can use it up to 10 times. I believe it. It's stuck. I mean, it's definitely an adhesive mask, that's for sure. All right. Let's see. Give me a couple more minutes for any questions. I'll check here. All right, we're gonna call it here. I'm gonna go play with my son. We're gonna go do some stuff outside. Maybe play some hockey or something. Boot hockey. Kids, yeah. Is there a way to find out whether various brands... Oh, he retracted the message, okay. I'll slide through there, see if there's anything up here. Any intro. Oh my god, there's so many messages. Let's see if there's any messages. Alright, well, we've been using the 3M 8212 welded version. Do you think it would be comparable to the 8210? I'm not sure. If it's the same cup size, yes. The 8212, I wonder if that has does that have additional oil resistance for the welding fumes? I'm not sure. So, anyways, we'll give it there. I don't see. Let's see. When are we gonna get a ventilation and filtration video? Probably not ever. I'll stick in the mask world. There's lots of people that talk about filtration and all that stuff. Alright, let's see. Anything else? Last chance. Last chance. Son wears the tiger mask. Blue Tiger 3D. That's what he's been wearing. Just got delivery of the Shaman Protex. Yeah, those are good masks. I like them a lot. Does your experience extend to CO2 monitoring? I'm familiar with it. I don't done really much of it. It's a good way to measure indoor air quality, though, in terms of like recycled air. Is it where to find out whether various brands of KN95 or Bot and Luna contain graphene in them? They don't. There's only like one. There's like a couple companies out there that do the graphene. I think it's a joke. The one that does it is, it's in my list. I tested it. It's like it starts with it's like Shenquai, SHENQ, something like that. If you look in there, you'll see it in there. I tested it, it was fine. They later retracted the graphene situation because it doesn't separate from the mask, but in general, I just don't see the value in it. I don't see anyone showing anything that why it's better. It's just like nanofilter material. It hasn't been better than electrostatic yet. I mean, maybe it'll get there. I'll hope they keep improving it, but it's not better right now. Ekin JJ, no worries, man. I'm glad that a good mask is keeping you safe. What are the 3 concentration columns meaning? Upstream concentration, in-mask concentration, and then back out. So basically we're managing outside, in-mask, and outside to make sure that if there's any change in the outside. So that's how I calculate the filtration efficiency. Alright. Is breathability better with a higher or lower? Lower pressure drop is better. Lower is better. Have I tested them all together? Nope. Pandemic solutions? Nope.
Okay, I gotta go. I'm hungry too. Thanks everyone for hanging around for an excessively long test. I will pick it up tomorrow for the stuff that I didn't get to. I do have some KN95s that I'll test tomorrow, including the Mega Fit XSL, some other kids' masks, and I think there's a couple of Cup N95s that we'll finish up with. Otherwise, thanks everyone for hanging around. Thanks a lot, and we'll see you on the next one.